Hello, 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 everybody. And welcome to the stream that's now got no music because it just stopped. Let's put a mysterious magical forest music on. Ooh. Ooh. Hello everyone. Welcome to at least one episode of a bonus D&D things. Um so this today will be a different format to regular session. It is not a regular session. If you are here for a regular session, you are not going to get one. What we are going to do today is for the for people who want to do this stuff, we're going to do like post-credit scenes and finding out where their characters go, what happens to them, that sort of stuff. Like tying up a character, as it is most likely going to be that I don't think any character is carrying through. I'm pretty sure, but those characters still exist, obviously, and still have done stuff. Um, the so of those characters, that's what we're going to do with those. So the postscript stuff. We are also going to do discussion of world building and things like that. So explaining stuff in the world because there is some moderate confusion on some things in the world, and I want to help people and also just refresh and let people build into the world and see what is going on and all that stuff, as well as the changes in the world between this campaign and the next campaign. So I will explain that as we go, but time has elapsed, things have changed. I will show you on the cool maps because I got the maps all done already, so we can see what has changed in the world and where people are likely to fit into it. This isn't going to be a character building session. People might talk about the new characters, but it's not a character building session because there's no book, so you can't do that yet. I feel like there was another thing. I feel like there was another thing that was going to be discussed. Yeah, it's like an ideas thing and also wrapping up stuff. So, and also hopefully, like if people get ideas or ask questions about stuff in the world or stuff that's going to happen, and if they want to tie it into characters and stuff like that, that will be very cool. And unlike normal sessions, chat, I will pay attention to chat. I will read chat. And I will answer your questions when there is a convenient point in the conversation to do so. So I won't interrupt somebody to answer your question immediately, but when there's a break, I will try and answer questions as I see them. Any other things? Oh wait, but I still have alerts muted during the thing because again, it's discussion, and I think interrupting it will be rude to people. So I'm gonna keep them muted. I hope everyone's cool with that, but I'll still acknowledge anything at the end as per. Do I need to remember anything else? I feel like I do, but it's gone from the top of my head. But I will say hello to everybody. Sorry, that's the one thing I need to do before I move back over to chat with everybody. So hello, Poke. Yeah, sorry about the horn. Though it should be fine. Well, it'll be muted during the thing anyway. But hello, hello. Gwen, thank you for the horn. Nemit, hello. I know this isn't Warhammer. I thought I changed it, but apparently I hadn't. So thank you. Hello, Sharkdog. Thank you for the horn. Hello, Jub Jub. Sharkdog, thank you for bigifying an emote. Much appreciated. How many characters are animals? Yes, Jub Jub and Poke. That is one of the things that will be discussed. Is things like that. I don't have a specific order that we have to do stuff in. It's more what people feel like they want to do. If people want to think about what they want for like post-credit stuff, they can. Or if people are ready and want to just dive straight into it, we can do that. So it'll be a little bit disconnected in those parts, but it'll still be good otherwise. Okay. Oh, I'll press the button so that you know what they are again. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. There we go. And you should all be able to do those commands. Right. This. Wow. We are looking for this one. And then we're going Back to the Future. Whoa, that was a big yawn. Sorry.
Anyway, hello.
Talk about that later.
Wow. Secrets.
No secrets.
No, just something unrelated to here.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Mostly.
I'll pretend that it's secrets and that I've been robbed.
There are
You've
no
all
secrets
been
this
robbed.
year.
Yeah, for comic effect.
Well, you've been robbed, but on the bright side, you haven't been shanked.
Yet.
Been robbed, but nicked, and something other names.
Rob, Nick, steal, larceny.
No, Steel's not a name.
Could be. Here's my beautiful son, Steal. Here's my, please, my daughter, Larceny. See, that works.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody has named somebody Larceny.
Yeah. Note to self. Gets
It's a
pen
good
and paper.
name.
Hit, make some character in the universe called Larceny.
my favorite
Are they gonna
Jackbox
be
question.
twins?
Yeah,
With
my
Steel?
favorite Jackbox question was: if Brie Larson committed Brie larceny, what crime would she be arrested for?
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay, so we are currently joined by Wheat.
Hello. I'm maybe a character now.
Maybe. M.
Hello.
Oh no, it started. Nemit is here too.
Hello. Also, Herc Bleh.
True. And Gwen.
Ah.
Amazing. Great noises.
Wait, Chernik and owl noise.
Ooh.
I don't know what you mean, dog.
Ooh.
The gates.
Is that
Yeah.
a fucking owl?
Yeah, that was an owl. Somebody get a broom.
I have bad history with owls.
True. You were bullied by an owl once.
Successfully.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Very
And if you-
helpful owl.
Was.
If you speak to animals again and ask them for a specific person, you're gonna get exactly the same answer because the owl won't know. Even though not all owls make that noise, but that's fine.
No, some go. Ah!
That's true. They do.
What?
Hmm.
I'm pretty. Isn't the owls go who one of those? It's the fault of movies. Why we think that?
Were those the owls that have seen shit? Like,
Yeah. No, I think owls are one of those ones where it's like a very specific owl that lives in California that goes very precisely whoo, and everybody like assumes all owls do that, but owls make lots of different noises.
Oh, yeah.
Like Gwen's owl.
oh, it's only the Hollywood owls. I see.
Yeah, the screaming
Mm.
owl of North Wales.
As opposed to the hooting owl of Burbank.
Yeah. Yeah, owls always asking who, but never why.
They don't need to know why. They know
You don't
why.
need to.
Okay, so for today, we can do this in any order that people wish to do. I can start by talking about the stoof that has happened and do like the little summary and explain what's happened to everyone's characters, and then if they wish to do a little scene, we can do a little scene. If not, I can just describe it. Or if you want to jump on straight to the world building first, we can do it that way around. It's up to you guys.
I would say we go in order of things happening. And the first thing to happen is what happens to the survivors of our little escapade.
Very well. That's as definite an answer as ever. Okay, so as in last time, what happened when the jar broke, so to speak. In Haliash, now I'll move you all over. Activate the map. No, I want to be there. Activate this map. Thank you. Right. So, obviously we finished last time with there was many a disappearing character, and some others fled the scene, and one turned into a bat or something and effed off. But when the jar containing the horrible soul curse thing that was inside the jar smashed upon the floor. Oh, sorry, no. You didn't drop it, because that's we were talking about that afterwards. It cracked in the fire and broke.
Mhm.
And the spirits were unleashed. We did actually do some rolls for this, as Gwen
Yeah.
can confirm, for exactly how much damage this caused. But
Oh.
as a consequence of you guys basically putting the city on high alert, the guards were far more prepared than they would have otherwise been.
So,
So-
in a way, we kind of saved the
It was
city
all
a
part of the
little bit.
plan.
Yes,
Is that what that 7 is?
yeah, that's what the 7
Despite
is.
ourselves,
We
we
fucked up,
did it good.
but we fucked up in the right direction.
We fucked upwards.
We trained the guards. That's what we
Yeah.
did.
So
Yeah,
basically,
that was
like
the plan the whole time.
the first guard that like left when you Özlem and Ross were trying to get in, they went off to go and immediately alert the what the flame, I never remember their stupid names, the knights. I know you guys.
Veil?
No, not the Knights of the Vale. They couldn't care less about those.
Okay.
Other
I'm
knights.
just
got
thinking
holy
of the
water
last
going.
people that were worried about putting out a fire.
I will find it. But anyway, whilst I'm looking for it, they went off to warn those knights, and also they were informing the High Guard that the situation at Oikos Pika was a lot more serious than they had previously thought. So thankfully, the guards were a lot more aware of what was happening than they would have otherwise been. The consequences of that is that they still unleashed the dead still rose, and they rose primarily in, I'll draw a big old red circle. I think I have red pen as my color. I do. They rose primarily in this area of the city. The consequence of which is that the undead primarily attacked the wealthy and powerful and rulers of Haliashnar, killing the overwhelming majority of them, leaving Haliashnar totally leaderless.
Yeah,
Um,
it's fine.
Isn't that where Winnie's
Yay.
family lived?
yes, it is where Winnie's family lived, and indeed, it is a part of the future story. When everything was going to crap in the Merchants' Quarter, Winnie's family, having no choice but to flee their home, did try to, and Winnie's parents were vanished in the ensuing chaos. But Winnie's little brother, Tobias, was rescued by a shadowy figure, and perhaps will come up later.
What is Jela's opinion on all this?
She's indifferent.
Ah, okay. She didn't think it was
No.
funny that absolute chaos happened.
I mean, like, in terms of that, but it wasn't doing anything for her other than that. Like, just
Oh, okay, it's fine.
she already knew it was going to happen, right?
She knew we were gonna fuck up. Good, okay.
Oh, and I can't believe the undead walked so far out of their way to kill that farmer. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, the one single
Technically-
zombie rose up over
Technically
on this
not
side.
wrong.
Yeah, all the way over here, and just like killed a farmer to cover your
Mhm.
tracks. So the High Guard were they were rallying. The High Guard's castle is main keep is obviously down here. Over a few days, they pushed into the city. back into the city. They like tried to rescue all that they could, and but they took like enormous casualties, and so there wasn't very many of them left either. But in all, the city was literally decimated.
10%.
Yes,
Actually, less than that.
Well, no. I'm rounding up.
What? I rolled
Because-
a 7.
Yes.
Yeah, 7 rounded up is 10.
I know, but I
The
rolled
reason why I'm
7.
doing that, Gwen, is because I don't really want to write in my notes 6.3 or 7 or like 39% of things died. No, I'm just going to say whole numbers, like 40 and
Oh, we
30
could
and
all
20.
rolled.
Oh,
Add them
Well, Gwen-
together.
fine.
Let's
Ignore
not.
my roll then.
You want more than 100% of the people in Haliashna to die.
You
Who?
don't want me
What?
to answer that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I've also almost scrolled to the knights. Where they flipping are Cloud Talons. That's what their name is. So the Cloud Talons were called in as well, and they assisted. But again, they were also very badly mauled by this undead rising. But eventually, due to their forewarning and being alert because of your actions, they were ultimately eventually able to stop the rising from killing everybody in the city.
We saved
The
Haliashna.
sort of
We saved Haliashna.
the other like main military organizations in Haliashna of the Hyros, the Hyros, which are the weird guards that have the magic staffs, they basically just sat and defended their tower, and after the uprising, they mysteriously, without telling anybody, went over to the Bank of Haliashna, and now they are set up over there. They are not in the city anymore. And the Knights of the Vale, they came over from there, and they tried to help that they could, but also they were badly damaged from the uprising as well. So basically, it was a bad time if you were in a position of power, authority, or wealth, or you were in the army. If you were a very poor peasant in like the poorer districts, honestly, probably better off.
Exactly. Power to the people and all that.
Yeah, but post this conflict, Haliashna was like it had no merchant
Yeah.
district, so there was no money coming in from that, and it was politically deleted. Like there was no authority, so it was a free for all for everyone who was left.
They were actually communist zombies.
They weren't.
Yeah,
How
they
were
ate the rich.
They ate the rich.
Because
True,
they were
that's
giving
true.
the power to the people.
No, they ate the rich.
And they ate the rich.
Yeah, and also for context as well, the 10% of the city died is 100,000 people, for clarity.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it wasn't a small thing. Yeah, I know, Poke. I know, stole your
Oh,
joke.
sorry. I didn't even notice. I'm sorry.
So who gets
Picking-
credit for it? Because whoever
Puck.
it is, they have the lead in the kill count. That's for sure.
Poke gets credit for it now.
Oh, the joke or the killing
Yeah.
everyone in Haliashna?
Both.
Poke. I don't know if Poke wants credit for killing everyone in Haliashna.
I think it's whoever set fire first.
Which was
Uh,
it was one of you two.
uh, let's think which one of us has the better plans. And that one is me. Therefore, I am the one who started the fire.
So you got the 100,000 kill count.
Neat. When I
Is it,
arrived in
though?
Haliashna, I couldn't have envisaged a better outcome. A shame that the place became more popular to me as time went by. But if I were to think back a few days, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the other things that obviously happen as a consequence of that, Winnie, we will do the death scene if Jade wants to later, but Winnie's body fell into the well, never to be found by anybody. the necromantic energies that were unleashed at Oikos Pika clinging to the well, and yes, that's going to come up.
Oh.
The other two unfortunate heroes who were slain, Roz and Xander, they both perished in the fire, although Xander was dead before, so it doesn't
Well.
technically count perishing in the fire.
At least it probably means you didn't become a zombie. You
The fire
burned.
didn't help anything.
Yeah, the
We'll
fire
say.
certainly wasn't good for your health. So I put it to you, Nemet. What sort of afterlife would Roz be looking for?
See, I'm not entirely sure because, well, as you well know, we were talking about various things that could happen to him,
Yes.
and various things that could make sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like that might be all right as a send off for him to just more or less end up
Burned to death.
hush. I was thinking along that line where we were looking at the reborn, but no memories, nothing. He just wakes up one day, somewhere, confused, but decides to live as a hermit way the fuck out in nowhere.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't want to see people ever again.
Fair. So most likely, then
So his body having been so close to the expulsion of such energies and the state of him at the time. Go on.
he would what I like to think is that the energy like clings to your body, and when the fire dies out, the like survivors, they come through and they fish out, because there's like loads of guards in there too, right? There's loads of other bodies.
Yeah.
And they make some sort of a mass grave.
Yeah.
Because they would have to after the zombie attack on the city anyway.
Yeah.
And it's
Too
like
many.
a few days later, or maybe a week later, Roz wakes up in one of these sort of body piles and crawls out and is like, "Nope, bye everyone, I'm done with this."
But of course, even though he remembers little to nothing, and he'll oh no, I know exactly how to do this. I've got a good idea.
Ooh.
He basically goes out into those woods he got traumatized with as he was being trained by his master, because he's still got that strong connection. Now this would be well outside of the city, in the countryside, as he's not bothered by things like hunger or sleep or food or water. He just goes about and just builds a little place for himself in the woods. Where is that? There. Okay, there we go.
I like to think that maybe you weren't even drawn to the regular woods. I feel like you would have journeyed north where you know that there weren't people, and the woods are even more isolating and alone.
Yes.
Because the Haunting Trunks is like nobody lives there. It is eerily
That would be
quiet.
perfect.
Yeah.
That would be perfect. But his appearance after all of it would be just scorched black. And he's just he's just resigned himself to just a little. Yes, he did. Death changes people, especially when you don't stay it. And he's resigned himself to solitude, and he's certain that like he understands more or less what he's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, physically, but he's now just content to be where he is, and until the time comes, he is just going to until the time comes that someone actually does need his assistance with something.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he resides. Occasionally going for walks.
Perfect.
Still finding some beauty in nature.
Yeah.
Some calm in it.
And the
But,
haunting scents are very pretty.
But every night he is absolutely haunted with regret, and that is what fills every single rest period that he has. He probably had to claw through a few other bodies in order to get out of that grave, and that told him enough.
Yeah. Well,
the mask has been left behind.
That's probably
Along with his past.
Yes, the scene would be like as Roz goes off to this like wandering hermit existence. The camera just pans back to this pile of bodies, and there's just like sitting on the top of the body pile the mask, and then that's when it fades to black for Roz, unless, but yeah, you know what I mean. There's a dot 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 at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. For Xander, Xander when died, would have gone to the firmament, having picked up a totally new god, not the god that he originally worshipped. The god they originally worshipped would be less than pleased, but ultimately there is enough of Aulus, the god that Xander switched to, that a partial afterlife would exist. And we would see Xander passing through the firmament and arriving at a grey, barren surface. Think moon. With a single shattered building in front, and inside that ruined, like a great dome that's collapsed and is all hollow, and the light of the stars and the light of the world, like lighting this place. There is 5 enormous skeletons in great thrones, and that is where Xander would spend eternity, in the shattered remains of Alice's domain, where there's nothing but 5 giant skeletons and a ruined building. If anyone wants to worship Aulus a bit more, that afterlife will improve, just saying.
What's Alice the god of?
Is not a god of a thing, because is an old god.
Okay, so Nothing in particular. No sort of.
It-
Uh, is there a Cole's Notes?
It's like Alice is the god of everything to do with nature in all its brutality and all its like beauty. That is what Alice is a god of. So it's and that's the reason why
Hog giving me character ideas.
yeah. So it's like worshipping what like the old god of nature. That is what Alice is. So life is cruel and brutal and short and all the rest of it.
Is this spelling correct?
Oh, hang on. I'll spell it for you. Alice, like that.
Oh, I just got the vowels wrong. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. The Hyperborean pantheon, which is what Owlus is a part of, the other four gods are dead. That's basically what that is. That scene of the broken throne room. Even though
Oh,
Owlus is a
it's their
skeleton in
party
it,
room.
yeah, the other four gods are dead. Like one of them is a giant snake-like person and stuff like that. Like only Owlus has enough residual energy, and also the reason why Alice can live is because there is technically one person alive on the planet who is immortal who believes in them. So they have like this get out of jail free that they won't disappear entirely. Yeah. So, do we want to do Kiara and Erzalim effing off or Aira effing off?
Either or.
They're
I
quite,
feel like there may
they're
be
quite
more
literally
effing off
F.
happening.
Yeah.
Wow. I wasn't gonna be the one that
Oh.
said it.
Well,
Okay, let's start then with Aira. So you see you fled when the manor started burning, and the
Mhm.
chaos in the streets around this fire. You are able to, without any difficulty, hide your flight towards Ravens Hill. You would see by the time you're across the city, so just as you're about to walk up the steps towards Ravens Hill, you would we'll just for the effect of it, because obviously like you wouldn't necessarily have to see this, but I want you to have. You would see this enormous column of purple and green smoke shooting up from the Acropolis. And then you would start to hear across the city like shouts and screams, and you would start to hear warning bells, like something bad, very bad is happening in the city. And I feel like that's when you walk up the stairs, you're like, well, it's done. Toodaloo.
Like, well, I tried. Never mind.
And as you walk up the steps into the forest, it does the same thing as before. It does that twisting of the landscape, and the path behind you seems to fade into the forest very, very quickly. And the raven like stands in front of you and basically just points with a hand lazily towards this hole in the hill.
Old.
Yeah. No, just the singular hole.
Yeah.
It looks like a rabbit burrow, but like a person-sized rabbit burrow.
Mm. Then
big bunnies.
Then Aira goes in.
And gets
Like,
eaten by
yeah,
a giant
sure.
rabbit. No.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how it happens.
Died of
You-
sass.
You go into this tunnel, and it's very much like a rabbit hole. You can see the roots coming through the ceiling. It's very loose earth. You sort of have to crawl through the last bit. But as you're crawling through it, you notice now you're good with cold.
Hmm.
But you notice that the ground gets cold to your touch. Like as you're crawling, it's getting colder and colder and colder.
Sounds nice.
Until sort of eventually you come to the tunnel does a very abrupt 270 turn. So like you can't see past the bend in the tunnel, and it curls round on itself.
Hmm.
And you carry on crawling. You crawl for maybe another 5 minutes more through this tunnel, and
Have a little nap in the tunnel for a bit, because I mean, like that was a long day.
that's true. I mean, you can nap in the tunnel if you wish. You didn't get to finish your short rest when you wanted to
No,
get
I
your
know.
wild shit.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Can't believe that happened.
You have this nap, and then after you wake up from your nap, you're not in the tunnel. You find yourself in a winterscape. It's that you are in a forest, but there is no leaves on the trees, and honestly, these trees look like there's never been leaves on them. You can see that the streams all around you are frozen, and there is snow covering the ground a meter thick, and you are basically curled up, and the snow is gone around the edge of your sleeping position perfectly, and it is like a meter deep. There is no snow on you.
Yeah, just look around. Is there?
Yeah, you can. You look around. You look up. The sky is filled with the enormous branches of a tree. You can't really see night sky in the same way. It just looks like you are in the most enormous forest ever. And you look around, you sort of stand up, and you look through the snow. You can see ahead of you, a reasonable distance, there is a frozen lake, and on the middle of the frozen lake there is a small little islet, and there is a chair, and you can see the girl sort of like they're doing the artist sitting, so they're sitting in the literal most uncomfortable way you possibly can sit in a chair. Their
What do you
legs
mean?
shouldn't bend like that, and also how do you compress your body in such a way in such a chair? But anyway, that's what they're doing. And he's just sitting there in the middle of this islet in the middle of this frozen lake.
Is it a nice chair?
No, it would look like a stone cut gamer chair. And one of the arms is definitely broken.
Perfect.
And it looks like it's too low, like as in the height adjusting, that doesn't work properly.
Is it RGB?
The chair?
Yes, but it's broken.
Oh, the
It's only
gamer
blue.
chair.
It's only
It's only
blue.
blue.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to the girl.
Okay. As you walk through the snow is very, very respectful, and it moves out of your way. So you don't make the little channel. The snow just parts for you. You also can notice behind you that the snow has like, oh, you're not using this space anymore. Okay, I'll cover it up again, and the snow goes over the. It's not snowing, to clarify. Well, there is snow in the air, but it's not like blizzard that fills up the hole instantly. And you walk over the lake to to the girl. That when you walk over the frozen surface of the lake, it is perfectly clear. You can see to the bottom of the lake, and you can see that there are like frozen in place fish and frozen in place frogs, just like a normal lake scene, and you can see that these things are instantly frozen just under the surface, and it's crystal clear. And you walk up, and the girl does not rush over to greet you, sort of like, you know what? As you approach, he would probably swivel in this like chair because the swivel works, but nothing else does. And turn his back to you.
Turns back to me. Wow.
Yeah, just like I'm busy. I can't save this game.
A sign
I
of
can't
trust.
save this game. Like I just walk up to the chair. Like, so everything went wrong. I'm gonna live here with you now.
Like forever.
Yeah.
Cool. You wanna? And he hands you what is. I mean, how? Okay, it's like it's a stone that has 4 little marks on the stone. It's like a small palm-sized pebble, and there are 4 brightly colored marks made in it in a pattern. It's like I guess that means you can have player 2.
Sure. I can grab the stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A much smaller and way more uncomfortable looking chair like forms out of the ice under you. And then as you are holding the stone, you see in front of you, in front of the lake, there is the surface of the lake kind of changes, and you can start to see that there are these like there's like a fish for one of these, and then there's like a frog, and then there's like a squirrel that's got flippers. There's like an otter, and they all have these very tiny fairies riding them. And you sort of by touching the stone, you get the understanding that the stone that you're now holding controls one of these characters.
I see.
As if you could drive them around. Yep. That's your future now.
Playing Mario Kart.
Faye Mario Kart with
Playing Mario Kart with the girl.
Yeah.
Sitting on a weird chair.
On like it's like made of ice. You don't get a stone one yet.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm still gonna sit on it in a weird, awkward position.
We can't use that music. It's not that music because the girl is very concerned with copyright infringement. The girl's power extends across the world, but Mr. Nintendo is still more powerful than the girl.
Or at least their lawyers are.
The greatest terror.
Nintendo is a far more powerful entity.
I may be able to change the world to a land of ice and snow, but I dare not challenge Mr. Nintendo.
Well, you could have rhymed it with Nintendo.
True, I could have.
Now they'd probably sue you for that too.
Yeah. But yeah, that is Aira's future. That is the first day of her existence as she begins to go through being more Fae. Ultimately will most likely become, whether or not you became an Archfey, like that's to be decided in the future, because you are the child of an Archfey, and to be an Archfey you'd have to have your own domain. I don't think you want your own domain.
What was that?
What? Yeah, what was that?
It sounded like Hog used a sentence as a question, with the uplifting tone at the end of it.
Oh, I probably did. But it wasn't, I don't think. Was it a question?
Well, you said it, so you would know.
I don't think it was a question, but
Hmm.
yeah. You get to play Fantasy Mario Kart. You can name the 4 fairy gnomes riding their creatures if you want. Barrio, Buigi, King Lou.
Are there like little icicles they can run into, and it gives you
Yeah,
random
yeah, yeah.
things?
It's got a whole track, and also as you start playing Aera, they throw like acorns at each other.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ah, the blue acorn's the worst one.
yeah, it is. Oh, that'd be a conker. That wouldn't be. Yeah,
Just throw conkers at each other.
yeah. Acorn is like acorn would be a green shell. Walnut would be a red shell, and then a conker would be the blue shell. Conker's lethal. That's why they had to ban them in schools. Yeah. Okay. With not Mario Kart time, we have Kiara and Azlim. Do you secrete yourselves from the city before the zombie apocalypse?
Oh, the secretions are happening.
Oh,
Not-
I wasn't sure where that question was going. So I've dropped down from the balcony with a collection of loot, just like Kiara. Oh, that's not the point. Hang on. Kiara, I've taken rather the burns and the injuries today, but I think with the collection of items I have gathered from that room, I am sure to have picked up the thing that is likely to cause any issues going forth in this place. I think it is safe to say that I have saved the city.
Great. Did you see anyone else?
There was some dude in a purple leather armor, but I swiftly dealt with him. He came up behind me while I was choosing which item was going to destroy the city, and so I backstabbed him, and he died. And by backstab, I mean I had my back turned, and I just stabbed him. It was very easy,
Right.
actually.
I see.
I unfortunately broke this mechanical box on the way down. There was a few
Well-
too many items, so I had to throw it off the ledge, you see.
Maybe that's what was going to make the uprising happen. Well done.
No, I'm fairly sure it was either this skull or this other thing I got. Book. That's the
That
one. It was either
gigantic
the
book
skull or
you're
the book.
carrying.
Yes. I
The
also
book
took
the
a
size of
shirt because
Winnie.
I was yes. I also took this shirt because I was so certain I had got the thing already that I figured I'd get my little something for me, you know. It's the only thing I could do. I figured the rewards of saving Birmingham are going to be rather limited. So I took a shirt. I don't know. It might sustain my family for generations to come.
Yeah, somehow I don't think they'd be very grateful how we saved the city, so perhaps that's a better reward.
Perhaps. Anyway, that's all gone great, but we are going to be hunted down for a little while. And that farmer that I paid to not tell the people who I was only going to do so for a day. So it is probably about time that I should leave this city.
Yes, I think it's best that we live here.
As for the others, I didn't see any of them. I briefly witnessed Roz fighting a hefty number of guards upon a stairway. He looked like he was being pummeled by about 6 of them at the same time. So I quickly went back into the room I set on fire and left via a different route. I'm sure
Sure.
he's fine.
I'm sure he's all right. He can handle himself.
Saw my friend in distress, so I thought I would leave him.
Yes. That is exactly what I did. In that comment,
Yeah, I know. It was you literally opened the door and then you just walked backwards slowly. You did the Simpsons meme.
Yeah. I hung up my flask of oil and then took it with me again.
Even did that to Kiara once, like seeing the fighting on the balcony, just like, nope.
It's true. A character trait of mine is I abandon those in need. Anyway, speaking of which, it's time we left the city. At that point, I imagine the skulls and the spirits go up in the air, and
Right.
Yeah.
Ah.
I think you would probably by the time that happens, because like the fire would take a reasonable amount of time to be hot enough to crack the Emperor. So I feel like you were probably a distance from it. So like you'd probably been walking for like 5-10 minutes before it cracked. So you could probably still see you could certainly see where the fire was. But you were far enough away.
yeah, it was right when Erzlin was talking about his character trait of deserting those in need. It's like,
Yeah.
"Ah, I believe that we should maybe get even further away from the city than we initially thought.
Oh yes.
It would appear that
Maybe
it
you
was not
didn't
one.
get the
No,
right one.
this must be something else. What was it we were even hunting? An undead uprising? That looks more like spirits.
Who
Well,
was famously
I'm
alive.
sure the city will be all right. Listen, why don't we get out of the city quicker this time?
How about we find a cave and spend some time together?
Look, I'm sure we can head back to oh gosh, what's it called? Hold on. Place. Where's the map?
What's what called?
Vampire Land,
Oh, Argonog.
Ognog. Listen, I'm sure to get out of the way of this whole undead uprising thing, let's head back to Argonog. I'm sure we can hang out there. It's
But
better
what
than
about
this place.
But what about the princess of Serentor? Ah, she
I
can
don't
wait.
I don't think there ever was a princess.
What?
Delusional. That's what I'm saying.
There never was a princess, but I was saving myself for her.
Well,
Jenny,
maybe the princess is the friends we made along the way.
I
That's
should
what they
hope
say.
so. I should hope so. I better get something out of this. Well, I suppose this mithril shirt will do for now. Yes. Ah, it looks so pretty, and I already know that I am going to get no benefit to my AC from wearing this because I'm a Dex character. What? Sorry, I guess
Too
burning all over.
dexterous for the shirt. Yes, that makes sense.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Sorry, I burnt so many walls down in that house, I must have burnt the fourth one down as well. Wink. Anyway, let's
And the
let's
fifth.
go.
And the
And the
sixth.
fifth.
The
And the
fourth
sixth.
wall punches you.
How much damage does the fourth wall do?
I don't know. How much health you got?
5.
Right, okay. 1d6. Right. Kiara, you
Ow.
have to carry Ursulim's unconscious corpse out of the
Great.
thing.
Ugh, what a buffoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you are making your way, I will assume that at some point in the days that come, you will Ursulim will wake up and you will chit chat. But when you proceeding down to Argonog, do you wish to go south via Benlaw, or do you wish to go west via Webb's End?
Probably south.
Okay.
Sure. Sorry, I'm just trying to find Haliashna on the map. Oh, it's over here.
You get to go to. Oops. You get to go to Green May.
Grimes. Where? Oh, I was just thinking we could go if we'd gone west. Some could have done his the first objective he ever got, which was go to the place Felicity appeared. And investigate.
Well, I think we
it.
actually passed that. Wasn't it like somewhere over here?
No, it was you arrived here.
Oh, right.
So you were in the woods for about a week before you walked out after the horrible nightmare spider time, after the horrible nightmare teleport accident.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so you two both get to Castle Argonog probably about a month later. You will have heard in Benlor, because bad news travels faster than you do, that Haliashnar did not have a very nice time, and Haliashnar is currently in crisis. By the time you got to Benlor, the cities of, well, the city of Windorin and the towns to the east of Haliashnar, so Brothbe, Nitre, Lembrin, Karen, and Osterin, are all sending. They're all gathering for a meeting about whether this is the time that they secede from Haliashnar, and Haliashnar is in a big old crisis. And then we have.
Well, this is quite the diplomatic incident.
Yeah, it seems like it's more than just the undead that are upset.
Well, I would be sending my sending stones off to the person who sent me here, but I'm pretty sure they're dead.
Well, they're not dead yet, but thank you.
Ah,
They will be.
yeah, okay, good. In that case, I
It
will
will be.
use my sending stones to send messages saying Haliashnar has been fucked. It is
Been fucked.
the undead are rising. A diplomatic incident has occurred. I may have had something to do with it.
Okay, so you use your sending stone. As you're doing your sending stone, you're holding it. It gets covered in frost when you do it, and the thing that you hear back from your sending stone is just a howling wind across a flat plain.
It would appear my stone is broken.
Yeah, is it supposed to do that?
No,
Is this like the ringtone or something?
maybe this is just the dial tone. Perhaps you're right. But either way, we should probably consult with an expert upon these matters. I am sure that there is one amongst here in Castle Angerung. There's a
Angering?
red line over the top of it.
Oh,
see?
Argonog.
Argonog. Someone drew on my map.
I'm just indicating
There's
where everybody's
definitely
arrived.
people here who can help with your little magic stone, I'm sure.
Good.
As you spend time in Argonog, you can receive help with your magic stone. You will be told that your magic stone isn't broken. It is possible that there is a
It was not
blockage
the
at the other
ringtone.
end.
It would
Magical
seem that perhaps I am needed at my home. Something may be happening there. I am sorry, for fuck's sake. I can't believe I have to leave you and my unborn child here to go off on an adventure.
I
I'm
mean, you
just
haven't
going to
even-
get some milk.
Oh no, you haven't even introduced that yet.
Oh yeah, how long have we been here waiting for you to figure out the magic stone?
I mean, I feel like you could do that in like a week or so.
I figure on the journey here.
Wow.
Like what I
You know, in
envisage
the
is like
cold nights in the Great
Yeah.
Webwood.
what I envisage is the first night out of that place is when it happened, and then and then it's like that was a bit. Yeah, never mind, eh? I'm sure nothing will come of that.
Wow. Oh, and is that when Kiara decides that you have to die? When she
when you
finds out?
choose to leave Castle Argonaut.
Well, if I'm in Serentor, I think there's some dice there.
That's that is certainly possible. So you don't have to be killed by Kiara.
But
Hmm.
wait, in this timeline, is the kid even gonna have met Ursulum?
I don't think
Would-
so.
It would seem unlikely if this is how events are transpiring, and this is how
If it's
events are
going this
transpiring.
fast, yeah.
Well, I didn't decide it was going this fast. You guys decided it was going this fast.
This is when things are happening, you know?
Okay, that's fine.
Serentor appears to be in danger.
So you pop off back to Serentor. It takes you about a year to get there,
Ah,
because you don't have teleporting. So you have to find somebody who will take your boat there, which means it would take you more than a year because you have to go all the way back to Theron because there's no ships from here. Yeah, so it'd
So-
take you 2 years to get back.
you know what? Actually, maybe he doesn't go then.
To bob out for milk.
Well, no,
Is
I
that
mean,
it?
like, it can still work that you set out to try and do this, and either you
Even make
eventually
it,
get,
though.
and something bad happens on the way too.
Perhaps there's someone who can teleport me from Argonog.
Not from Argonog, but you would be able to pay for teleportation services from Oribus, which is here, or from Erinken or Srelok. Erinken is down here, and Srelok is obviously over there. Okay, if that's the case, I'm gonna get my chart up. No, that's not what I wanted. Where's my background music I was using? Where have you gone?
No.
Is this gonna be one of those cases where, like, Ursulum just leaves without saying one day?
I think he said.
So welcome to the D&D breakdown. Thank you so much for the raid.
Breakdown.
I must go
Breakdown, yeah.
now. My people need me.
Okay, let us teleportation mishap chart. That's what we need. Where are you? Spells. Where are you, spells? Teleport. Sorry, I'm just loading up the thing. Okay, I have the chart. Can you please roll me a D100? And also, I have to go find out what Minnie's screaming whilst you're rolling that dice. Sorry, she's screaming in the kitchen. 1 sec. So roll a D100 and I will give you a teleport mishap when I return.
Hmm. Well, there we go.
Alright, bets on if that's good or bad.
Ursulum is I mean Ursulum the second slash whatever name he gets given. It's gonna be very confusing how he ends up with the same accent.
That's a good point.
This is how things happen. Maybe Ursulum comes back, who knows?
Maybe. Or maybe the kid's gonna get told about how much of an asshole the father was. Like, oh yeah, it caused an undead uprising, randomly left one day.
Yeah. Yeah, could go either way. But I don't actually I don't know when in the
I'm
timeline Serentor gets destroyed. It seems to be not
I
yet.
don't
So Ursulum
know.
may
Well,
return.
Was it? Was it? Was it perilous peril?
Perilous peril. How so?
Thought I heard Hog say that he was back.
Yeah, I did. I returned.
Oh,
Yes. What was Minnie's peril?
Oh, there was apparently a spider swearing at her or something. I don't know. There was a spider in the window, and she was
Swearing. Damn.
I don't know why.
They're just shit talking each other.
Similar area.
Oh no.
Yeah, because you've only described. Oh, sorry. No. It's off target. It's not because you would describe it to them. Target is 1d10 times 1d10. Right. 1 slash R 1d 2d10. 30 miles. Oh wait, hang on. 3%. Oh, it's percents. Well, okay. That means
You're gonna teleport into
Ursulin.
the ocean.
Well, no, I'll be nice. I won't put you in the freezing cold ocean. I'll be not nice. You'll be. So you know this from before, Urslim, but I will remind you. Serentor is a floating island.
mm-hmm.
It is approximately 1 mile in the air.
Mm-hmm.
You are teleported to the ice sheet below it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not directly below it, like probably a couple miles away, but you can see it. You are now
You
on an ice sheet.
Told them the X and the Y, or the X and the Y, but X and the Z, X and the Y, but not the Z. One of them.
I feel
How-
like Ursulim had not sufficiently realised the dangers of teleportation when he paid for this.
No, I don't think
No.
anyone does. And just so you know, that's a very good result.
Wow.
Yeah, that's 60%. So that's like based off description. In order for you to not mishap, it you have to roll above 75 for you to not mishap on teleport.
Okay, so only a 25% chance to work as intended.
As intended. Off target is not that bad. It's a percentage error, so you will be in the vicinity of your target. But when your target, for example, is floating,
Yeah, it's more awkward here.
yes,
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's not that bad because you'll be like teleported into the next valley or something like that. Similar area is awful because, for example, you were teleporting to a magical school. That means that you would be teleported to a different magical school.
That would have been funny.
Ah, fuck, I'm in Hogwarts.
No, not that one. You won't go there. That one's been burned down and everybody in it.
Woohoo.
Yay!
But there are many a place that fits that description in this world that you would have been able to be teleported to. There's one big one in Theron. There's a couple big ones in Jelangea. You could have been teleported to the freaking capital of Tianxi, and enjoy your time with the Dragon Emperors.
If Ursulim had gone to the School of Orbis to do the teleport, would there be a chance it would have been just teleported to the same place? Because it's a magic school.
I wouldn't do that, but I could roll it if people wanted me to. I would by default put you to another destination, but yes, in theory, yes, you could.
And then just imagine Ursulim thinking it's Serentor, like, oh, I made it!
Just get teleported, reappear in front of the same guy. Hey, I think that didn't work. You're not going to charge me for that, are you?
It's like, no, we paid we did the components.
No, we
That's
did
how the
it.
spell do it. It's based off your description. You put the wrong postal address.
Shit.
But like
Well-
it's rough because even if you viewed something once, it's still a 25% chance of it being a perfect success. You have to have seen it more than once for it to go down to 55 as the minimum.
And that's based on the person casting it, I presume, rather than
Yes, the person casting it. And the there's other things you can do for it. The permanent circle obviously guarantees it. If you have an important object associated with this very precise location you're teleporting to, you can use that, and that also gives you a guaranteed. But very familiar, seen casually, viewed once, or description are all rough. You can also lie when you tell someone to the destination, and then it's basically 50-50 of very bad or extremely bad.
Right.
Teleporting, if you don't have a circle or an object associated with the place you're going. So, like, for example, if you were teleporting to a library and you had, like, the library key, or you had, like, the log book or something from that library, that would count. But, like, for example, your clothes don't count, because your clothes could be from anywhere. Your stone doesn't count, because it can be from anywhere. It's just a magic stone.
What about the picture of the princess I keep in my pocket?
Do you want to use that?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, this is a trick.
It's
This
not.
is a
It's
trick
not a trick.
because it's a delusional princess.
No. The picture that you have is of a person that you know. It's just that you're delusional about them being a princess and that they like you in any way, shape, or form.
If you say so.
But I know what or where this person is, and I will
I
tell
bet it's
you,
not Serentor.
it's a worse outcome than the snow. Would you still like to use it?
I imagine they're dead.
You can still use it if you wish, and I will describe what happens to Ursuline.
No. I don't
Okay.
think Ursun would even have it, to be honest.
That's fine. I will tell you where she is now then. She is dead. She is at the bottom of the sea underneath the ice of Froyon.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, that
She is
would have been
about
unpleasant.
3 miles down under ice.
Hmm.
So yeah, probably wouldn't have been great to teleport there.
No.
It would have been a beautiful reconstruction of 2 years ago's events of you teleporting 3 miles down.
Well, maybe I'll find more of life down there.
Yeah, so we're going with Ursuline gets teleported to the ice with no means of getting to the floating island.
I'm sure they have lookouts.
Maybe. Yeah, I know how people get to the island normally, and it's by boat. As in, like,
So there'll be a port at ground level.
No,
I just need to get there.
By airship, not by sea boat.
Son of a bitch. They must have contingencies for this. People teleporting vaguely nearby to Serentor. I'll just wave.
I think the reason that they selected this as their destination is because it was very hard to get to. It's very safe.
I'll just wave. And now that I'm closer, my sending stone might work.
So if you you try your sending stone again, the same thing occurs. The other sending stone is doing that back to you. It is making your your stone look like it is frozen, and all you can hear is the howling of a wind on a flat, icy plateau. You can do an Arcana check if you want to try and work out what's going on.
A flat, icy plateau, you say? That sounds
Yes.
familiar.
Yeah, it's Froyon.
Ah, I think I know where they are.
You can make an educated guess, but if you want to do Arcana, it might help you. With a 9, it won't help you. You know that there's lots of magic around here, like, because Serentora is a floating rock, which isn't normal. And you know that Froyon is famous for having very odd magic. Like, all the islands that are frozen into Froyon, like the Gilda Islands, and then there's more to the east of Serentor. These are all places that magic saturates the landscape. There are magical woods. There are it's where the people of Therin harvest these things called shoal stones, which are the stones that if you put magic into them, they float for their airships. So you know how much magic saturates this land and landscape. But with your Arcana, you don't know what that means.
Nope.
In terms of your stone, but your stone is there, and it's not working, and also you're in Magic Land.
Well, the good news is I can cast Goodberry. So food I am not short of. The rest of it, hey, I'll make do. Someone will see me.
Are you going to stay, or are you going to try and walk somewhere?
I'm going to get closer to Serentor.
Okay. Can you make me a Constitution saving throw? Okay. You are immediately feeling how cold it is.
Perhaps an igloo.
It is here. It is -30, and there is wind chill.
Oof.
Indeed. Perhaps an igloo. And I brought my camping supplies.
Yeah. So you do you
And
have
I'm good
anything that you
with
can
fire.
cut the bricks out for an
I have
igloo?
a sword.
You have a rapier, don't you?
No, I have a double-bladed scimitar.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, I keep
right.
mixing up with life. Sorry. Scimitar time. Yeah, okay. I think with scimitar you can probably cut the blocks and build a makeshift igloo to get the worst of the wind.
Good. And the smoke will help people spot me.
Maybe.
And that is Ursulim's life now.
Yeah. Gonna be a rough one.
Is the-
So
Oh,
you know what?
man.
Actually, I mean I can wrap this up for you, Islam, because this will have a reasonably speedy thing. There is nobody in Serentor right now.
All around me are familiar faces.
Yeah, I like
Worn
the
out
image,
This is
but
faces.
so crazy.
I like the image for Urslim, right? Of Urslim has made this igloo in the ice, has made this little campfire, and is like, oh, I'm close there, somebody will find me. And then, like, there is just a cut shot of Serentor is totally abandoned, because it is currently. And then the camera just, like, zooms back in to where Urslim is, and then zooms out as, like, as the light sort of fades. And that's
Oh,
where Urslim is.
no.
He's
Love
having a
it.
great time.
Yeah. We love a tragic Arctic-based death.
Someone will be along. I could have got a ship here, so there will be ships coming by at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point, Poke. Would Urslim eventually give in to hopelessness?
Oh.
Probably.
to the point where all of your thoughts would dwell on hopelessness, and you believe that there was literally nothing else, and you might as well give in.
How long would it take to walk to anywhere else?
There's no cities here.
Then yes.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
if
he'd
you
notice
wanted
that
to,
like the things that would normally like happen around Serentor, 'cause he'd be very familiar with the place.
Yeah.
The things that would be happening around there aren't happening. So
Ooh.
basically, if you wanted to walk to any of the islands that you would know were ice, or at least partially ice-free, you would be walking for, well, I mean, the Gilda Islands are 2,500 miles away. Do I actually have? Did I put on here? Why have I hid that one? That's odd. Go me. I don't know why I hid this. Okay. So, this one is technically ever so slightly out of date, but it will do the job for now until I upload the other one, which I haven't done yet. Come on. Why don't load for me? There we go. Now the question is did I set up the... I think I did. Yep. Okay, I have set up the right distance. Yeah, so you would be looking at 2.5 miles to the Gilda Island to see. This is before the world started freezing. That's the reason why this
Wow.
map is
I was
different.
gonna say it's
Mhm.
a lot less ice.
Narentor is also 2,500 miles in the other way. So your
Hmm.
choices are 2,500 miles either direction. The edge of the
Let me
world is
see.
closer.
Yeah, you can just walk to the edge.
Let me see. Well, what's 2,500 miles away? How about Liev? That looks about right. Let's not walk there though right now. From there, distance. Oh, that's only half the distance. Jesus Christ! This is like okay. This is a long way.
2,500 miles is a long way. What? Who'd have thunk it?
Although it does say it would take a measly 400 hours. That's non-stop. Double it for sleep and conditions.
So 800 hours. So
Okay,
divide that.
here you go. Los Angeles to New York is just under 2,500 miles.
The entirety of the United States of America.
Yeah, you have to walk across the whole U.S. in the cold.
In either direction.
Yeah.
2,500 miles is an insane distance, Jub.
But
2,500
doable.
miles is... No, I mean,
In normal
walk.
terrain, maybe.
not at minus 30 on a good day.
Hmm.
Well, Ursuline would try, and if failure seemed inevitable, would give up.
Okay.
Give into despair and hopelessness.
So, one day when you had given into despair and hopelessness completely.
Not even a roll.
Oh no, you're not a roll there. This boy needs recruits. You would find a. You would
1d1 million.
Yeah, you would be joined at your camp one night as you were frostbitten, probably starving as well. I know that you have food, but like the effects on your body would be quite dramatic at this point, from the unbearable conditions you are in. Yeah, you'd be joined by this figure. They are approximately 9 feet tall. Their body is all twisted, wrong shaped. They have like their arms are jointed the other way around, their legs the same. Their hands are about like a foot long, and then their fingers are another 2 feet on top of that, with like claws and all these other weirdness. The head kind of sits at an angle, and yeah, you are greeted by this being. It's awfully cold.
Yes. And what of it?
Would you like some help?
What could you help me with?
That depends. I can make your end swift and painless. And then, like, it twists around and, like, looks at you and its head tilts the other way. Or I could give you another chance.
There's only one thing I might want another chance at. A swift end is something I can give myself. What happened to Serentor? What is responsible?
So, like, moves back and forth, just like head tilting at you, looking at you, assessing you. Big, massive, deep, void like eyes. Did they abandon you?
It would seem that they all were gone. I would know why.
They obviously didn't care enough. But I
I can
can.
see from my stone that where they are is much like where I am. I only understand it now, to my folly. I
All
would
of
know how they
this.
ended up there. And if there is one responsible for it, my chance I would ask for is the chance to stop to get them.
There is no one responsible for their abandonment of you. They simply had more important things to do than help you.
I came here to help them. The thing I lack is not a comfortable ending. I lack revenge.
What does that do?
What does that do?
Yes, this revenge. What does it do?
Everything that worst my life was in Serentor. Something caused it to leave. Something caused it to become stuck in this frozen wasteland just like me. Whatever that was, and however many were responsible for that, I would be their end.
So tilts head back and forth. But what would their ending be to you?
That would truly make my own ending comfortable.
I do not understand this desire when your end is so certain for such activity. Ending those responsible would not change their fate. And as you are about to die anyway, it would seem such a pointless thing to seek.
The pointless thing to seek was me coming back here in the first place. I had found something, at least, back on the mainland. And now, I will not only never go back to it, but I came back here for nothing as well.
It's still looking at you. Why would I know who had done this to your city?
You may not, but any kind of being that can appear here would surely know more than the generic amongst us.
I know a great deal about endings. I do not know what pleases mortals like you. I am
If it is,
here
ooh,
because it is your ending.
indeed, I am not to last much longer here. I hope I at least got close to covering the length of the journey. Sorry.
I guess, I know that this is silly to do it as a single check, because obviously it wouldn't be, but I guess make me a constitution check and we'll see how far you got. Like, constitution save. 22? Yes. I will say, which way were you going? Were you going to the Gilda Islands, or were you going to,
Yeah, sure. It's the one I can see on this map, so we'll say what's going there.
Yeah, okay. I reckon you got to about here.
And it took me a measly, like,
Well,
200 days.
it's well, because this is difficult. I
Say a
don't think
year.
that you could have walked 30 miles in a day in this condition. So I think you probably have to do 24. So we can measure how heroic your escapade was. Because I'm assuming that so that you didn't get lost, you would have gone around
Yeah.
the edge of the ice.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Before this, was there like a montage of just walking through the snowy wasteland?
yeah, it was like every single recreation of anything to do with Lost Arctic expeditions, where you just see, I'm going outside now, and I could be sometime, but it was Ursuline. You did 2,600 miles, like you did massive distance. So that divided by 24.
If only you'd
2000
gone in a straight line over the
Like
water, then you
Avengers.
would have made it.
It would have taken that was 109 days.
Indeed.
That is insane.
3.5 months.
Ursuline's gonna have, I've got the only thing, I was all quads, you see. Yeah.
Living off
Oh,
nothing but good berries.
Yeah. I could eat lots of them though.
But yeah, this creature is very much that like I will tell you that, like, we'll do it in character too, but I'll tell you
Mhm.
that the alternative to this creature giving you a painless death, which will involve them just like basically slitting your soul's throat and then you die, and then you can pass through the firmament easily. You would be reborn in a way that they try and work out how to rebirth you. They are famously very bad at it. they don't really understand how people work. So like the first time they ever reincarnated somebody, was they didn't understand that clothes weren't part of people.
Ah.
So the person's skin was clothes
Oh no.
because they didn't get it. They try to get your internal organs roughly what they were, but they don't really understand how they work or plug into each other. So it's mostly just you have internal organs in you.
Like that one episode of Invader Zim.
Yeah. So Iskatel is help from Iskatel is normally very funny because that like they aren't evil, but they just don't get it. Life is very strange to them, but they also need life to be, so they understand that.
Hmm.
But
Well-
it's a possibility of warlock times, is what I'll say.
Hmm.
Well, I have said what I would come back for, persist for, if it were. A means of survival and a direction to be pointed. That would be all I require. Otherwise, give me my end and let us be done.
What if there is too many responsible? What if the one responsible were the one you came to protect? What
I will
then
do what
with
I
your
must.
revenge?
To have been betrayed so heftily from the beginning would make my revenge even more sweet.
This is very mortal of you. Well, if you wish to have your revenge before the end, I will help. But if you do not understand your revenge may not be what you think it is, I will end you.
That appears to be the choice I have now, as well as later. To
Yes,
merely give me the chance to understand if my revenge is my revenge, or if I've been misguided even further than I believe. To understand my lot in life and understand my death. That will be the comfort of the end I require. If neither of those is something I can have, then the end will suffice as it is.
you will understand your end if I help you now.
Very
Your
well.
end will not be meaningless like this.
Very well. Give me my chance, and I accept your help.
Just like leans into your face, like creepily long neck, so like stretches right into your face. You can see they are 3 inches from it. They're massive sort of void pool deep eyes, and then like their little mouth that they were moving ever so slightly, they open it in this horrible rictus grin all over their face, and it's all needle teeth, like millions of them in their mouth. Very well. And then all we see is this creature flies through Urzalim, and then the camera pans away, and Urzalim's body falls out by the campfire, like falls to the ice.
Ow.
Thank you, Eat. I love Iscatel.
Oh, there we go.
Iscatel is my joint first favorite god.
Well, good that we managed to get that person in then.
Yeah. So Urzalim might still be alive.
Mm.
Hang on, I'm gonna put a little marker for Urzalim up here now.
X marks the Urzalim.
Did you know that drawing like this with this tool is very hard to do? Eyes.
Oh yeah. I can see you struggling. There you go.
It's like it doesn't connect when you want to draw circles. There you go. Urzalim. Rip?
Rip?
Question mark? Okay, Urzalim's not here
Just
anymore.
imagine how many igloos there are now on that journey.
I don't think that I think that because you would have been staying to the edge of the ice sheet, you would have probably most of the time just tried to use the lee of like the boulders, because you know how the edges of the ice sheets are very irregular because they're the parts that melt and break off and stuff. So there'd be more opportunity for you to have wind breaks.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So Kiara, I assume that Vampire Times you hang out in Argonog for a while.
Yep.
Hello, Mum.
Ursula doesn't show up.
No, this is the child.
What's the new character's name?
Hasn't got one yet.
Oopsilon. Accident.
Accident.
Accidental.
Accidental.
Just going to Google Translate. What? Pencil.
What would
Yeah,
what would
no
Kiara spend the next little while doing?
Probably would have hung out for a bit, expecting Ursula to not just disappear forever. And then maybe after like a couple months or something of nothing happening, might start to look into like learning more about Sarentor.
Oh no. This is where Kiara dies too. It's just a big corpse pile of people going to Sarentor.
The
Of
next
like,
day, Kiara reads a
what?
message that says Serentor has been evacuated and no one is there.
Yeah, just see like a newsletter.
It came 3 days later.
If you are teleporting to Sarentor, please don't. Nobody will be there to greet
Please
you.
don't. We're away currently on vacation. Please don't try to visit. And then, yeah, like I guess would she be able to find out about Sarentor being abandoned?
If this is months, years into the future, then yes, but not
Right.
not in any short duration of time.
Okay. Then, yeah, maybe that's like something she learns about later down the line.
Yeah. After a good few years, you would find out that a few years ago from when you would find out, the Serentor had been ordered to be cleared. Basically, the Lord Rector sent all of the people who were there, sent them to the College of Uthria, which is in Theron. It's I guess I can show you this on this one. Actually, do we have? I have a map of Theron. I don't need to use this one. Hang on.
Onitus.
Romanian was sadly just still accident, so I went through some other ones with like what could be appropriate.
Is this? Are we just deciding your new character's name right now?
Yeah,
It's just straight up accident.
yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, no,
another
well,
language.
I put it in Google Translate. I'm trying to see what other languages are. Unitus War, I quite like as a name. Gotta be honest.
That could work.
If you want vampire themes, there's you can try Moldovan as well, but I imagine that it's similar to Romanian.
Good shout.
Yeah, check Moldovan.
Yeah, so Uthria is here in Theron. It's is where most of the people who were sent from Serentor, they were sent to there. And the Lord Rector has not been seen since that order was given, and it is presumed that Serentor is abandoned. Also, this is a better map of what Serentor actually looks like, just if you were curious, because this is a map that I have done after.
Right.
So basically, some people can bring their boats, but somebody has to be at Serentor to magically lift the ship up to them, which is why they normally just use airships. But you can technically sail your boat there, but none of that was happening because nobody was there to do it. So,
I guess with this information, probably just spend time still hanging out in Argonog. Maybe trying to like read through the big book and stuff.
Yeah.
Until eventually, it's kid time.
it's kid
Being
time.
like a kid growing
Do you
up.
mean
It's
like you
kid
have to
time.
look after the child, or?
Yeah, yeah, looking after the child.
Oh, okay.
When
Not
they're
just like I was
like
reading a
young
book
kids.
and then suddenly the child.
Suddenly, a child.
I don't
It
know
came
what
out of
happened.
nowhere.
Actually a crook.
I never
So,
thought
someone
Some,
just waved a
some
magic
weirdo
stick
snuck up
at us.
behind me and wove a
No.
crook over my head.
Oh,
Bizarre.
no. We're not having the pregnancy stick,
You
please.
didn't have to tell us about it.
You got the pregnancy stick anyway, so
It's fine. No, that's not what happened. Nobody waved any sticks over your head, and you did not instantly give birth.
Was
it
Moldovan
would
any
be
better?
handy though.
Moldovan is just Romanian as well, so
Yeah,
Right.
I figured it'd be the same as
yeah,
as
it's
Romanian.
still just accident.
Okay, well, I guess you get to have an Estonian name for some reason.
Yeah. Onitus, I like that though. That's cool.
There's
Yep,
Estonian
and then-
vampires.
Then I imagine like there would be scenes of raising the kid and stuff, and I think Kiara would have felt a bit jaded at Ursula not returning, going on that foolish adventure, and would probably raise the kid in like talking about the folly of their father and stuff, how foolish they were.
Okay. Now, at what point in Onotus's childhood do you want the encounter with the vampire hunter?
Hmm.
When child? When teenager? I mean, like the other option, I guess, is after about 2 years of taking care of Onotis, I feel like Kiara would be so sick of dealing with this baby that she'd just leave anyway. But
I mean, I kind of like the idea of like, despite her being very jaded at Ursuline, like maybe having this kid sparked like a little compassion in her for once.
what the fuck? Lonely Ted's ghost is coming to haunt you if you get compassion. The farmer who remains nameless with a crossbow bolt in their heart, and Lonely Ted are just standing there tutting at you.
I like the idea. It's like not. I'd imagine like it's not super obvious, but like she cares about their kid, and then maybe the vampire hunter encounters when the kid's like a young teenager or something.
Okay. Thank you,
And
Shark Dog. Yeah, so like as like sort of like
and
10,
maybe
12-ish.
yeah, and maybe like part of the reason why the vampire hunter kills her is because she like saves Onitus from them when she could have gotten away easily enough otherwise or something.
Onotus is now called Balashet.
Balashet.
Yes, it's Hungarian, which is
Oh.
next to Romania, so it makes more
Oh,
sense.
that works. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
That's a
Balashet.
great short form too,
Mm,
Bala.
yeah, works better as
or just
Bale,
Bal.
but yeah,
What about Shet?
nah.
That's good for a fake name.
True.
Shot
Um,
the shot.
Okay. So yeah, so tiny Balashet is, well, not tiny anymore, like sort of 10, 12-ish. Do you wish to be in and around Argonog when this occurs, or do you wish to perhaps be visiting, and this will determine where a Balashet would be growing up post Kiara being, uh, you know, stabbed through the heart with a wooden stick?
Uh,
Oh, you
Mm.
want the actual? Hang on, you want the proper map?
ooh,
I feel like it would be at least somewhat close to Argonaut, like
yeah,
maybe just doing something in the surrounding area for some reason. Classic vampire things.
yeah.
Vampire
Because
hunter
like
shows up.
what
Because she's probably
species
trying to
was?
raise him like the vampires, right? Because it's what she
Hmm.
knows.
Yeah, and he's a half vampire.
And he's a
What
half
species
vampire.
was Kiara? Besides vampire?
Fox go.
Because obviously Ursuline was an elf. So like 10, I imagine, is like super childhood for elves.
Don't they have this similar childhoods to other species? They just have really
Yes,
long
but
adulthoods.
but life expectancy and all that, I imagine, makes things a bit different. Perhaps I don't know.
Well, it depends what species Kiara was besides vampire.
Yeah,
Fox go.
I don't think
fox.
she was a
I
fox
think
girl.
She was some sort of animal girl.
She was a monkey girl.
I mean, there was original thoughts of the fox girl, yeah, because like it's not cat girl, it's a fox girl.
Yeah,
We never
Okay.
really looked into it much.
she has fox ears and
Okay, so some way or another, then it's safe to say that Balashet is a half elf of some description.
Yes.
Of
So-
some description, yes.
Yeah. I don't think she was an elf.
And Yeah, so we'll say that you were probably doing something in Malian, like maybe in Guadalupe, Mis or Green. One of them.
Yeah.
And the vampire hunter finds you and vampire hunts you. And
Like an
Balashet,
action.
yeah, I vampire hunt you. And you're dead. And then Balashet is left to fend for yourself until you arrive at things later. But also, like, when we do talk about the stuff that's changed in the world, some of that might influence you as well. Remember.
Yeah.
Also, from what little backstory I did try to come up with before, it kind of is an interesting circle because Kara's backstory was supposed to be like trying to have a family, and then the disasters happened and stuff, and she ended up becoming a vampire. So it's like come full circle to try and have a family again.
But vampire.
But vampire. Also, that the vampire hunter in question, you can decide, Balashet, how much you want that person to be in your backstory. They can just be a faceless killer, or I can integrate them much more fully.
Put them in.
One vampire hunter, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's interesting. Of like the idea that Kara could have gotten away, but ended up dying protecting Balashet.
Nice.
Wayne. Turns out she did have a conscience after all.
And all little Belashet has to remember his parents are a sexy mithril shirt and and a book
In a big book.
A
this-
massive
did-
book.
and,
And
a skull.
Balashet never even got to see what their father looked like.
No,
Unless
unless
resurrected, weird, stitched together Ursulum shows up.
who knows?
Okay. I believe that is everybody's little conclusions. Well, except Winnie, but we wouldn't do that in the shades here. Yeah. So, does anyone have any questions before I do some introductions of some of the big things that changed?
I have none. Get that out of the way at least.
No, I think not. Also,
No.
Okay.
Oh,
So, this music is very quiet. I want louder background music than this. Let me go find something.
that was actually good to test. Actually, because I've said before, I didn't want to use Ursulim's voice for villains in my own stuff because I thought I couldn't be serious doing it, but turns out I can. So look out for that voice returning as villains.
Excellent. Excellent. So, yeah, this is where people were. We got Roz wandering over there. We got Ursulim somewhere, perhaps, and Kiara moided. Well, is it murder if it's a vampire?
I
It was
think
intentional.
I would consider it murder.
And premeditated.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the jury's still out. I'm gonna get rid of these dots for now because I don't need them. I know roughly where you all are.
And
So-
zombie Winnie in a well.
Zombie Winnie. Well, no, not Zombie Winnie in a well. Banshee Winnie in a well. Sorry, wait, that's gonna come up later when we do Winnie's wrap up. Okay.
The
So
Wailing Well.
the Wailing Well. Yeah, exactly. The Wailing Well. It's not a whale. It's not a whale full of whales.
Winnie of the Wailing Well.
Winnie the whale weller. Anyway, so for everyone's benefits. Wait, hang on. Do we want to do just like the generic world building or the changes first? Should I do like the explaining some stuff?
I think you need to explain stuff and then changes because people
Right.
don't understand what the owlins and owls.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, you don't have to do them like that. That's okay, Gwen. They don't need to be bullied.
I didn't
Trying their
name
hardest.
them.
So, I am going to do this on the new map though, because this is helpful to just learn on the new map. So, I'm going to draw a big red line. It goes like this. Like that. And then a separate red line that goes like...
Is
Hmm?
this a good time to mention that red's not a very good color for me?
It is a very good color. What would be a good color?
I think white would stand out best.
White.
And be visible to me against green.
Okay,
Mm.
that is very helpful to know. I'm also going to make the line thick. Thick lines.
Bright
Yes.
yellow would also do, but
Yuck.
Thick lines. This is approximate. I think I have probably gone through some stoofs, but that's okay.
oh, that's so much easier to see. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sick.
Thick.
Sick.
And then I got to do all the dividing lines. Whee. And then we
Do you have a
have...
map for this?
What? You want me
Wasn't
to do an
there already a map
ethnographic
for
map
this?
too?
I think she's talking about the country map that you have.
Yeah.
But this isn't the
Oh,
country map.
this isn't the countries, Em.
Oh.
This is cultures. And then right, and then them in there, and then there, and then these guys down here. Oh, these ones are separate as well. And then there's a separate one in there. Okay, so right, this wiggly lines, promise you, will make sense in a second. So apart from countries, though, I divide the world up like to these large culture groups, like big culture blocks, and most countries fit generally into one. There are some exceptions where people fit into multiple culture blocks, but I will talk about them when they come up. So the primary ones that you have are... I still can't do the eyes. Okay, whatever. That's an eye. Why is it not... There we go. Aryan. Owlin. And then... Oh god, I don't have space for Crank around. Crank!
Cranky.
Ran. That's an R. Right. So, not counting like the dwarves, which are Crankran, because that's easy. People remember that. Most of the cultures in Jelangea and around the Sea of Pearls are Owlans and Harrians. The Harrians are stereotypical medieval Western European people. So you have this area in here, which is like Strelok and Ernahan, these cities. This is basically English, Scottish, well, Scottish in the sense of Scots, not Scottish in the sense of Celtic Scots. Anyway, English, Dutch, German. That's what this is themed to be like. So people have Germany names, people have Dutchy names, and they have English names, and that's how they are, and that's what that is. Then you have this down here. This is French, Spanishy land, but mostly French. There are some Spanishy influences. And then you have Argonog, which they are actually technically Harrians, but not really, because they're just vampire land. But they are technically, and that's obviously like the oldie Romania, Transylvania thing. You then have the Owlans, who are based on Celtic and pre-Roman cultures. So ancient Slavic, ancient Germanic, ancient Celtic. Those are the general themes. And the Owlans live all up here. They also live over here. And these people down here are also technically related to Owlans. These ones in here are more like the Owlans that you'll be most familiar with in the campaign that will come up are what like Gwen's characters from these ones, and they are obviously like British Celtic, like Insular Celtic, Brittany and Gauls and that sort of stuff. And then Feyre is more Slavic inspired, so you'd have lots of sort of stereotypical Eastern European sort of vibes. Their temples have like the onion domes, that kind of stuff. And then Elwith, which is the last Owlan one all the way over here, they are similar to the Owlans here with Welsh and Celtic stuff, but they are much more. I gotta work out the word for this. Much more old school is the best way of describing it. They are very concerned with the old ways and making sure you do things like they have no problem with tying people up and throwing them in bogs and stuff like that. And people say that they do lots of dodgy things, and whether or not they do, that's up to interpretation. You have to go there and visit there to find out whether or not they are actually as old-fashioned as people think they are. But they are similar to them in here. The Aliens, which are these Owlans over here, they are more like Southern European Celts. They're very heavily influenced by like Greek culture-y stuff that comes from this one in here, which is the Halies, who are, if you combine Harrian and you combine Owlan, you get the Halies. They are a hybrid culture that exists around Haliashnar, and they take elements of both, but think of this as Mediterranean land. So this is like Greece and ancient Rome and that sort of stuff. It's the vibe of Haliashnar when you go there. And then Crankran is stereotypical dwarves. Am I missing anybody? Oh, yeah, the other one, the other big culture group. Cycleopolis down here, which is the biggest mega city that flies around the place. They are like Ottoman Byzantine themed. So like they have a sultan. It's like the Sublime Porte and all that sort of stuff. So they have lots of Ottoman themed things, but generally Mediterranean. And then people over here also reasonably Mediterranean Malia. The bird people aren't like that. The bird people live in massive pyramid cities in Carrag that go up the sides of mountains, and I don't think they have a proxy culture on Earth, because as far as I know, there's no people who live in giant stepped mountain cities in which hierarchy is based on how high you live on a cliff. But if that culture does exist, let me know.
Of any of us that would know, it would have been you.
Yeah, I don't think there is. And then going like other cultures around here, down here, this is Indonesia and India, in Tropto, and all of these islands basically are their own culture. And then you have the Ekni Inu, which is a whole separate story that one day somebody will go to and deal with, but at the moment it's completely irrelevant to this.
What is this now?
Ekni Inu.
On the far,
side
far left of the map.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, they're a stargazing culture that has a whole thing going on because their little island is on the edge of the world.
And off it.
and off it, as many of these islands are. Oh, and then you have the newer cultures to emerge, like Stessaton, which is a group of disparate people who several centuries ago settled on these islands, and they have built an entire society and culture around migratory whale patterns. And their gods are all depicted as whales, different kinds of whales, and everything about their culture is whale themed.
I love it.
Yes, and they have a whaley good time.
I love it more.
There is also these islands up here are also populated by, again, kind of disparate cultures. On older maps, I did actually color it in as a political unit. It's not really a political unit. It's just that these ports have people living in them, and you can think of these as just a mishmash of cultures that, like, they live on remote islands and they're fishing communities basically, and they have their own very, very specific religions. I think originally they were themed to be kind of Norse, but what amount is actually Norse is very variable because there are other fishing things as well. And that, so on the newer maps, that's not colored in as its own thing. And then other major culture group that is all below this is the Dittic Imperium, which is the people that run and live in the Underdark, or as it's called in this world, the Beneath. And they only have gateways on the surface. So the Gates of Karanith is one. The Path of Irok is another one. It's over there. And then Languir's Path is over here. I think that's the only 3 that are in the Sea of Pearls. Those people are all of your Drow, Dwergar, Deep Gnomes, and they live under the world in their own empire that I'm not drawing a map for. Sorry that I'm not drawing a map of the entire center of the world.
So do they have gates on the other side as well?
No.
Only on the top side?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So technically, you can go from the other world to the Beneath, but the Beneath does not actively try to maintain any of those things. So there are tunnels, but
not active tunnels.
Not one that anyone uses. And anything that does use it, honestly, probably you don't want to go in that tunnel with them. And then the Dittic Imperium, the only surface land that they actually claim. Generally, people stick away from those gateways, but the only actual surface that they claim is Beltharor, which is a continent almost at the very top of the world that is now half frozen. It didn't used to be. And that the Dittic Imperium claims as their kingdom. And there is a port, and there are some towers, and people do sometimes visit this way. The reason being is that it leads to their capital city. Because their capital city sits at the very edge of the world. And the Imperial Throne Room has a proper Palpatine-esque situation where at the edge of the Beneath there is a massive chamber with a glass window that looks out through to space because it's cut into the side of the world.
Amazing.
And that's where the Empress...
Moi.
Yeah, that's where the Empress sits.
Style.
Yeah. And the Dittic Imperium is not like lots of Underdark things where like the Drow are evil or anything like that. The Drow aren't evil, but the Drow disproportionately hold all the positions of power, and for some reason they keep giving jobs to all of their friends. It's like that. They are in charge, the Drow, but how did you get through? Sorry.
Did Minnie just open a door?
No, somebody...
No.
Oh, that. Oh, that's new.
I know how they got through.
How did they get through?
The H is a different H.
Yep,
Damn it.
that's what I mean by it's new.
They realised people. I know, I'll ban it.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. We will have to add that to the list.
Yeah, they realised how to get past. They're evolving.
Oh well, it was bound to happen eventually.
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
it's always that kind of race. I'll inform the others.
Yeah. So the Disc Imperium, that's what they are. They're not evil. They are a massive empire that functions like an empire. So it is shitty in that regard. All of the main cities, with the exception of one, are ruled by a Drow royal family. The only one that isn't is Irok, and they don't even get the same title. It's run by Dwegar. They get to call they have a viceroy in charge. Everybody else gets a prince.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's
No reason.
yes, it's that kind of unequal society rather than the Drow are like murdering everybody and being horrible. It's problematic, not evil necessarily. Yeah. So, any questions about cultures in the world, of which there are many?
I mean, you've spelled them out pretty well.
I'm also giving chat the opportunity to ask questions as well.
Yeah. Anything
That-
else that you've confused about?
Well, I mean, yeah, like, and you can ask me. It doesn't have to be. You have to ask me now. It's just that, like, because we're on the topic, you can ask me now.
Ah, it's accented Latin, apparently, or possibly Greek.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a substantial variation in there. Like, these cultures aren't monoliths.
Mm-hmm.
And they have multiple languages within the one thing, but they generally have a shared language family. And then you have Iran down here with the monkey people, Tianxi, which is fantasy, China, and others. The Celestial Empire.
Where was everyone from again?
Where was everyone from again? Okay, so Xander was from Haliashna, this city here, properly. Roz was from nearby Haliashna.
Yeah, probably hereish.
Winnie was also from Haliashna. Then we had Kiara was from somewhere in Strelok before being in Vampire Time, but I don't remember exactly where. So I'll just say here-ish in near Lomba. Then went to Vampire Land. Then Aira was from Thethan, right?
Yeah.
Thethan.
Nearby. Yeah.
Yeah, nearby Thethan. Thethan is like a small town. And then Life. Oh, okay. Hang on. I've got to go to a new map for Life. Life. No, it's not even this map, is it? It's this map. Because I've hidden this map as well. So this is the. Oh, wait. Let me activate this for everyone else. This is Issaria, which is what the world looked like before it got blown up into the continents that you know today. And Life is from a city which is Hernicia, which is over here. It is now at the bottom of the sea, but That is where her Nisia was. This area in here is what's now Theron. This around here is the Sea of Pearls. There's Beltheror up here.
Oh,
Hmm?
I just realised. If I had this map when I was looking for things on those things, this had made it a lot easier to find stuff.
Well, this map is posted in the Discord.
Yeah, I know, but I was looking at this and I didn't look and thingy. But yeah, no, where Dario is at the green thingy.
Yeah. And then you have like TNC down here. Tropto is these ones. Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Good news. They're using the exact same one. Okay, I'm going to.
Nothing happened, Hog.
Huh? No,
What
I
happened?
want
What
to go and
Add the thing.
add the thing. 1 second. I gotta remember where I go though. I know it's in moderation, so I think it should be pretty clear. But carry on chatting whilst I'm doing this, because I can't bother dealing with this.
Oh, hi,
Add the
Jade.
thing, Hog.
Hello, Jade.
Hi, hi.
How are you feeling today?
That good, eh?
I see.
Cough still going strong?
Yeah, cough still lingering around.
You guys all talk whilst I sort this to myself.
Yes.
Hello.
We'll catch you up on what's happened
Yeah.
to everybody
Era's playing Mario Kart.
with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is she winning and is the girl raging?
Sorry, just straight up. I can pay attention enough for this. No, you don't stand a hope in hell. You will never beat the girl. America.
Okay, so you're like my niece playing against me in Mario Kart because I'm not gonna let her win. Get good.
It is also the first time I'm playing Mario Kart, so.
Yeah.
The girl has been playing Mario Kart for literally borderline infinite time. Oh, do I need to capitalize it, Nemit?
I don't know. I just copied and pasted, and that's what works for me.
Okay, I will do that one too.
Capitalize what now?
The V. I
The
don't
V
know if
in
that
viewers.
Oh,
matters.
the V.
Yeah. Because hell, I don't even know if that's a V.
Thank you.
Yes. Roz soaked up too much jar juice,
Mm-hmm.
but because he wasn't, just because of everything that was going on, he got sort of brought back kind of wrong, lost a lot of memories, remembered all the bad stuff, and noped out, and now he's a wilderness hermit for the rest of time.
Okay. So my question, one question I have, why is wheat rolled 1D a million?
So
Don't worry about
Whee!
that. I was seeing if Earthlim could walk about 3,000 miles through the Arctic.
And what was the answer to that?
Nearly, but no.
Ooh.
So Ursulim is question mark dead? Question mark. Kiara
Mm.
is dead. Roz is undead. but not
Technically.
dead. Winnie is very undead.
Ah!
Garn
As-
is
As
We're
exceptionally
going to
dead.
find out soon.
Yeah. Garn is exceptionally dead.
No.
Who have I missed?
Yeah,
Error.
we just
Error's
wonder
fine.
what. We just wonder what happened to Felicity now. Because, well, if Felicity's dead, then Era is the sole surviving member of the original party, and this party.
True. Error's lost everyone. Or outlived everyone, depending on how she sees it.
yes.
Uh,
Hey, you
Okay,
missed
I'm back.
Brislam teleporting to the ice sheet.
Yes. My characters die when I leap into something without knowing where I'm going to end up.
Yep.
hmm.
Okay. So, yeah. So that's where everybody is from. But let's go back to this. Hey, Jade, are you awake enough to do a post-credit scene?
But less if I'm awake enough and more can I speak long enough without coughing.
Well, I mean, that's fine. I mean, like a great deal of this is going to be description, but
Okay.
there'll be a little chance for a scene. So when Winnie's body fell off the roof and tumbled down into the well, like I said before, despite looking through the manor after the fire ended, nobody found it. It was at the bottom of a well. It was just not discovered. And when Winnie's spirit left her body, she ascended towards the firmament. So it was the same thing that's happened before. Like you have this inky blackness, and then there is a shimmering wall in front of you. Do you wish to walk towards the shimmering wall?
Sure.
Okay. You walk towards the shimmering wall, and you feel like you should pass through it, like inside yourself. Like, yeah, I know that this is the usual thing. You walk towards the light, right? That's how death happens. You walk towards the shimmering wall, and the wall, when you touch it, it reverberates and it bounces you off.
Huh. I try harder to push at the wall.
It bounces you off a second time, but now through the shimmering wall, because this is like a white light. This is like a reflection. It kind of looks like space on the other side, and then there's like a glowy barrier that you can see. You can see that there is on the other side of the wall, dressed in full plate armor, a stereotypical angel, and they are carrying an enormous spear and like a massive shield, and they are standing on the other side, right in front of you as you walk towards it, and they have their spear down towards you and their shield in a defensive pose.
Hi there. I mean no harm.
Be gone from this place. You will not pass the barrier.
Why?
You denounced our Lord. Our Lord condemns thee to be trapped in this place for all time.
I denounced your lord because he is a coward. Could not help to save his own followers. And because of that, he's going to be nothing very soon.
The angel like smashes the shield into the other side of the barrier. And like you feel the sort of the reverberating shockwaves sort of pass into you. And you can feel yourself being like dragged backwards away from the barrier. Back to the material plane. But the angel, as you're being dragged away, says, "Begone, foul one." And you are dragged back to the.
I flip him off and say, "I'm no duck."
Wow, you're quackers though.
There.
You are basically like dragged by this insubstantial force from the firmament, and you are cast back into the well that you were in. Only now you feel yourself. Two primary feelings keep happening. One is you seem to dwell on your anger towards Erenthor, fear of what has happened because you cannot see anything, and all like the negative emotions therein, like any feelings of abandonment, or anything like that, being in this well. Those are the feelings that you will now dwell upon, and the second is you feel a surge and a rush of energy through your spirit that initially you will sort of probably be more scared. I don't know, actually, yeah, you decide if you'd be scared of it, but you can feel that this is necromantic energy, but it very quickly consumes like you almost entirely. So Winnie is left not particularly conscious, like consumed by her like anger and her resentment, etc., and empowered by necromantic energy in the bottom of this well.
Lovely.
Yeah. And above, like, this is like the burnt out manor. And yeah. I guess what would you do as like this happens to you?
What would I do? What as being control, being the like
Like the
just-
last bit of control you have over yourself.
I'd I hang on. I got an I I would curse Aranthor's name and hope that he loses everything.
Okay. So yeah, the things that people will hear from the the ruined, burned out manor of Oikos Pika is the screaming and muttering, condemning Erenthor for their betrayal.
Mm.
Oikos Pika is very haunted, everybody.
I wonder why.
It was already haunted. Now it's got more haunting and also lots of necromantic energy stuck all over it.
Hey, you've got friends.
Well, at least one. Well,
Yay.
yeah, but they live upstairs.
Is there an
Lived
upstairs?
upstairs.
Upstairs
guess-
is relatively to the well.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. Everything is upstairs. Come on.
If the if you're a ghost and you're bound to a room, and the floor below your room collapses and your room falls into it, do you go down a floor or do you like stay in the air?
I
It's up to
feel
you.
like you end up having to talk to the lawyers in Beetlejuice's world to figure out what the hell you're supposed to do now.
Oh, right, okay. It's just like, look, I've been haunting this place for 1,000 years, and it's just collapsed. Do I keep haunting where here, or do I haunt the floor now? What do I do?
What are the union rules? Do I have to wait for them to rebuild?
Yeah, and that is where Winnie will be 42 years into the future. Or
In the
Winnie's
well.
spirit. The
Where
Wailing
Winnie will
Well.
be.
Winnie's Wailing Well.
Well, they wouldn't call it Winnie's Wailing Well because somebody made sure that people didn't name the person who fits your description.
Just the Wailing Well.
Just the Wailing Well.
Tobias.
That does not mean that they have any other positive feelings towards you, but they would rather people did not call or know that it was you.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
Dreams and Avengers, yeah. It's gonna be like that. Okay. So, I think that like most of this, the history things, I think I think we're definitely gonna do another. But it'll be the same thing. People can be there if they want to be. Going through all the history changes. But there is one that I want to do today. It's just because we're like 10 to 6, so we're into the last little bit. Yeah, we did the Haliashar's Blight. So the other big thing that happens after the what is called Haliashar's Blight, the destruction of the city and the zombie uprising, is for several years afterwards, Haliashnar is pretty much done. The Holy War that Aera starts does get kicked off, and lots of people from Haliashnar hoping for a better life do actually participate, which further depopulates the city. But it's much more ad hoc than it otherwise would have been. But some important NPCs who we met in this last arc do some stoofs in the next 5 years from when the campaign ends. So the campaign, this arc ends in 834, and the next campaign will start in 876, so 42 years later. Which is why like the characters are changing and stuff like that, because 42 years is a long time to not improve in any way, shape, or form. D&D wise, anyway. But the 3 characters in question, Tobias, was rescued in the destruction of the city when Winnie and his parents were killed. He was rescued by a person who is a member of an organization called the Golden Worm, which is a charitable organization that looks after orphans. For no reason.
Yeah, lovely. That sounds like a wholesome thing.
Yeah, that's such a kind and worthwhile institution.
Mm-hmm.
2 other children that they rescued from said crisis is when all of those High Guard were rushing away the family from Oikos Pika and all the servants, they were also caught in the zombie uprising, and only the 2 children were the ones that lived, and they were also rescued by members of the Golden Worm. And their names were Kurdiak and Kirentha. I will put all of these names so that you have them if you want them. So let me get this open again. The Golden Worm has a practice of eliminating surnames when you join their community. So basically, everybody is only known by their first names, and nobody uses their surnames if they had them. And it's very taboo for you to suddenly start using your surname again, because the whole point is you're supposed to be part of the Golden Worm. You shouldn't need a surname.
No, the still sprocket name ends.
Yes, it's to remove your ties from families and stuff like that. But in this instance, that does mean that. The order also has another peculiar tradition, I guess. When orphans who they raise want to become full members of their society, they ask them to make a journey to do something basically like a pilgrimage sort of thing. Go off into the wild, find yourself, and come back to us, and then you'll know that you're a proper member of the community. And for Kurdiak, Carantha, and Tobias, who were all doing it at the same time, because they're all pretty much the same age. Well, Carantha and Tobias are the same age. Kurdiak was a little bit older. Like, I think Tobias and Carantha are like 12, is what it was. And then Kurdiak is like 13, 14, so not that much in it. And they do a journey and they do this when they are 18. That's what this journey is. No, wait, hang on. Yes. Wait, no, so they should have been 13, because we worked this out. That's why it was 5 years. 4 years. So they were... They were 14.
16 before.
Did I say 16 before? Then it's 16, so they are 12. There we go. I mean, it's not that important, because the difference is like 2 years of whatever for how old they are, but whatever. I know that I've written down all the right numbers. They go to the Finial Gorms, which is a mountain range. I need to get rid of these lines, because this is going to be very messy if I don't. Goodbye, lines.
Did you teach everyone the difference between an owlin and an owlin?
I showed everybody the different cultures, yes. So the Finial Gorms are these mountains here that they go up past Halyashna. And these 3 children, they go to the Finial Gorms, and they disappear for an entire year. Everybody assumes that they have died on their journey. Some people are a bit sad, but it happens when you send 3 children into the mountains to figure out what they're going to do with their lives. It turns out it's not actually a very smart, like, parental plan. However, after a year, a big thing happens in Halyashna, and riding towards the city of Halyashna, dragons exist again, and 9 dragons fill the skies of Halyashna. The largest of them crashes down on the bank of Halyashna, and then the 2 smallest dragons land in Halyashna, and then the other 7 the other 6, they sort of dot themselves around looking into the city proper, of being like, yep, there's 6 dragons here. The population is terrified, fleeing for their lives, because dragons don't exist, and now there's 9 of them here. And off the 2 dragons, Tobias and Carantha get off one, and Kurdiak gets off the other. And they have been transformed, basically, by the dragons, obviously. They are now covered in these different colored scales, and their eyes are now draconic. And they basically... They tell the city that the dragons have awoken, and that they are here to bring prosperity and hope to the city, which has no leadership. The largest dragon, which was over by the bank, actually goes inside the bank for an entire week and disappears and doing their own thing. That dragon's name, because it will come up, is Schmockdagel,
Schmucktagal.
which everyone loves. And the when Schmocktegeld leaves, the rest of the dragons deliver huge amounts of food to the people of Haliashnar, and the people of Haliashnar are very grateful because they haven't had as much food as they used to. And basically, the dragons seem to be benevolent tyrants for the city. They very quickly move out and they subdue the rest of the Vale of Huluk, which is this valley that's directly outside Haliashnar. So Periar, Ernil, Floralor, and Benlor. So this all becomes their little draconic empire. And Tobias, this is a couple years later, but Tobias, Carentha, and Kirdiak become basically the triumvirate of mortals that run the city for the dragons. Tobias becomes the High Steward, Carenthia the Lady Arcana, and Kirdiak the Lord Chancellor. Also, when they're when this few years later, so they're what 19, 20 at this point, Tobias and Carentha get married, and that's going to be a whole thing because the dragons want to have their draconic children basically run the city for them for all time. So that is
I'm
part
so
of what
proud
they're
of my
doing.
brother. He really moved up in the world. Wait, I mean, fuck you, Aaron Thor. Oh.
And that is what it is. There's more things that happen in Haliashnar as time goes on, due to ongoing wars as well. The Archbishop of Adrisia, who we dealt with at the beginning of the campaign, they are forced to flee Adrisia when the people of Lomba finally do their invasion, and they flee to Haliashnar, and then when they get to Haliashnar, the Archbishop of the religion of Halias proclaims that, oh no, everybody, we got it wrong. It wasn't the gods that we've been worshipping for 1,000 years. It turns out the dragons were the gods we were supposed to be worshipping. Definitely not because they were going to get eaten.
What do you mean? The religious person of faith would change their views so easily on if it meant their life?
I mean, that's just what this person did. And they basically begin the construction. This is probably 10 years after the last campaign, of a new dragon-centered religion, where it's basically the same as Halias religion, but all of the statues are replaced with dragons. And they are the 9 dragons that Schmocktegel kind of tells them that they are. Schmocktegel being the leader of this religion, the highest dragon. But yeah, and that's what this is, which I think is a good point if people want to... not that one. This one. If people want to ask questions, because there's lots of other history things that have happened, but this is the big one because we're talking about Haliash now. So that's the consequences of what the party did is this. And I only had the idea of having Tobias, Carenta, and Kodiak do this later.
Well, we just failed the undead uprising. Those dragons would have appeared either way, right?
Well, the dragons were due to wake up sometime soon, yes. But there's no guarantee that if the undead uprising hadn't happened, whether Haliashnar would have been able to do something about it. But Haliashnar,
Okay.
without much of an army and without any leadership, after another war that happened afterwards, not really in a position to fight 9 dragons. With the best will in the world. So, you very much influenced whether or not the dragons awoke and were just stuck up here in Fallen Crankaran, or whether the dragons would be able to actually take the city. Which they could with no resistance. And also, having these NPCs, because, Kodiak and Carentha, they could have died in the Oikos Pika stuff. Or the whole family could have saved, and then, they wouldn't have been in that position, right? Same thing if you'd stopped it. Tobias's parents wouldn't have died. Then Tobias wouldn't have been in that position. Would have grown up a normal, regular person, not in a weird cult.
But if we'd stopped it, then the war with Thingy would have happened, and
Well, that war still did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
If
now they've got
thingy
dragons
means
to
your holy
protect
war.
them. No, not the Holy War. The war with, because the whole thing with,
No, I don't.
So the war that when Lomba invaded Adrissia.
yeah.
Yeah. So the difference is that could happen because Haliashnar couldn't block them. Adrissia couldn't defend itself because Adrissia doesn't
Oh
have
yeah,
anywhere near enough people.
Odysseus, yeah. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, how Yash now wasn't as much of a thing now because the dragons are protecting them.
Yeah. So the Haliashnar didn't really get involved in any of those wars. So
Yeah.
Adrissia was very quickly annexed. Whereas had that not been the case, Haliashnar would have sent armies to help protect Adrissia, which could have
Yeah.
meant that Lomba didn't take over.
Mm.
So it's like, I don't know, like it's like consequences within consequences, right? Like you did actually make Haliashnar's position better because not everybody in the city died.
Mm-hmm.
But like because of how it went, there was loose, important, influential characters who can do stuff, and they went looking for help. Also, the Golden Worm already knew where the dragons were, just to clarify, and they definitely set people up to go and find them. If that wasn't obvious, it wasn't like happenstance that they just happened to find the dragons. No, they were sent to find the dragons.
It was going to be someone going there to find the dragons and bring them,
Yes,
regardless of who it was.
because they wanted the dragons. Oh, and the dragons also, when they were doing this, the only substantial battle that they had to do when taking Haliashnar is they destroyed the school at Oribis. Because they did not want any pesky wizards hanging around.
Poor wizards.
So the entire school of Oribis was destroyed. I mean, it straight up, like, some people did teleport out of it before its destruction, but yeah. So there are survivors, but it was destroyed. Yeah. Yeah, next week I'll do all the other like big changes and stuff like that because there's a lot more wars and things that happened. I have 6 pages of things that changed. But you can see that there is some stuff that's changed because this is the map of the nations when we will start the next campaign. So the Cantrevi is split, Srelok is split, Malien is split, Haliashnar is split into the Alien Republic and the Golden Empire. Adrissia is gone. This will happen basically every single time a new version of the map of Jelangera is done. Argonag will change the title that she uses, literally depending on who is most powerful around her. So she is now the Pfalzgraf, whereas before she was the Margravet, I think she was a Margrave. But yeah, she will keep changing what title she uses based on who's in charge around her to sound as important as possible.
But who does that line up with?
Who?
Being called a Pzoltsgraf.
A Pfalzgraf. Pfalz. Like P, like that, M.
Pzoltsgraf.
P, yeah, like F.
Yeah, but who she changed the name of that for on this time round?
Oh, no, as in like the person you met, Alcado.
No. Who uses Pfalzgraf is what.
Oh, sorry. Now I
That's
understand the
what I
question.
mean.
That's because Srelok is currently like the German part of Harrians are more powerful. I understand it.
Right.
Changing with the winds.
Yes. So now
Okay.
yeah, she's gone more for a German title, whereas before it was because Margaret is technically English and German, but she's not using any French titles because she doesn't really have a particularly high opinion of Malien. So she's never the duck.
Hey, Hog. What happened to Felicity?
I don't know. What did happen to Felicity, M?
I haven't thought of it.
Paradoxical
Okay.
dressing.
Then I will solve it for you. she left. Yep. She is gone. Wherever she is gone. If that helps you at all.
Undressing.
She didn't fall in a lake and take her clothes off.
No, she took her clothes off inside of that thing already.
Yeah.
We were on the ship.
Oh, what,
She's
she went
wondering if
inside the
taking her clothes
box?
off.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm not doing that. Because then if you find the freaking box, I'm not going to have like a random amount of times you do the puzzles. You get to one and she's there.
And then it,
Self-cleaning box.
Yes. Oh no, actually yes, no, it does that. That was established before because
yeah, it ejected her with her clothes, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, but somebody
there was
also got
one.
somebody got trapped in there and they died, and it ejected the skeleton. But Fliste, maybe Fliste is in a box. Who knows?
A cardboard box.
A little cardboard box.
Yeah, one of the puzzles is you have to solid snake in a cardboard box.
Yeah. Yeah. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. And I'll do another one next week where I go through all the extra other things as well. So if there's more questions next week, I will do those too. But I got everybody's character stuff done, which was the main part of today.
Yeah. Anything
all went-
noteworthy to mention of Xander?
Yeah, Xander is in a bleak hellscape. Because Xander went to the remaining afterlife for Owlus, which is basically going to the moon. Because there's nothing there, because there's not enough people to believe in it to believe that it's anything else.
Hmm.
Yeah, and we got a name for Wheat's new character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Oopsalim.
Which I need to
Slim.
balance.
Muslim?
Still need to decide on a
Balashat.
voice for him. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, it
I'll
can
do that in my
be.
own time.
You've got choices there of vampire, French, or if you don't spend a lot of time in Marlian and you move to a different place.
I see. So when you say I don't have a lot of choice, what you mean is I have
All the choice.
all of the choice. Vampire,
No, I said
French,
you do have
or
a lot
the
of
world.
choice.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
at the moment you like we left it somewhere in Marlian, but like there's no reason why you couldn't go and hang out in Erenken for some reason, and then you can have I talk like this. My mother was a vampire, and my father died on an ice sheet. Which I
My
don't
father
know
left
about,
before I
He
was
had a
born.
nice sheet.
My father left
He had
before
a nice
I was
sheet.
born, and my mother was murdered. I had a bit. My father went one day for a nice sheet, but he never returned.
And
Instead, I
also,
was simply named Balashit.
How
I
did
every-
every know about his parents?
I hate it when my father leaves for a nice sheet and never returns.
and for everybody's benefit, the campaign, I still have not 100% decided on the start of it, but it will start around the Queen's Pond, either in Lol Simrith proper, or it will start at either Bluefriars or Llandu, and it will be
Do. What does Clan do?
We may never know.
What accent do they have up there?
Welsh.
Well,
They talk like this.
Well, no, just the one talks like that. Just the one that Gwen knows talks like that. Everybody else doesn't. So basically, Bluefriars is a monastery tucked up high in the mountains overlooking the Queen's Isle. So it would be like there is something that happens at the monastery. You all arrive there, and you have to solve this mystery, whatever it is. Clan De will be the same thing. but it won't be in the monastic setting. It'll be in a very small town. And then the idea is from either of these two starts, you will be on your way to Lol Simrith, and Lol Simrith will be sort of the central start to the like that'll be your main base of operations because it's the big city. And you can look at Lol
So-
Simrith now because it's here.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
Balashet has the book. Is that important?
Yes.
Do I need to
So
like consider that in how I like get a backstory for what I think I've been up to?
the book is important in the sense that it gives you a bunch of information about those objects, but there is another. It is actually another copy of that book as well that somebody else has.
Okay.
So
Does it
if
does it
you
have that
lose,
same scribbled writing that is mentioned
Yes,
in
it
the
does.
thing we read? Okay.
it's exactly the same. So basically, the person who has the book is going to be one of the principal help you characters, like setting you off on your journey.
Mhm.
But if you have a book, you can go snap and
Okay.
some sort of prize. So if you lose the book, it's not a problem, is what I'm saying.
No, what I mean really though is using the book to give my character a reason to be where he is.
Mm.
Well, that depends if your character
There's
would
a
just.
couple objects near there, so if they wanted to try and find it, makes sense maybe.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking like what we chose for like our start. Is it that we were as a group that we had an established like base of operations, or were we just randomly meeting up in the end?
The established base of operations, I require to read things beforehand.
Okay.
But the party did not. Everybody did not vote for you all know each other before the
Yes.
campaign starts, which is the reason why that is basically not going to be what the start is.
Okay.
You all have to have a connection to somebody, but the majority was not for you all have to know each other beforehand.
Okay.
At the moment, we like Gwen, Emma, and I kind of got like connections with each other planned.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it, and that's as far as I know on regarding it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the idea is, and because it was 50-50 on whether or not you start urban and go rural or start rural and go urban, my idea is that there will be a formative adventure rurally before you get to Lol Simrith, where you can then establish your base of operations. That is my current
Okay.
thinking. The first
Okay.
story will
Sounds
be
nice.
outside.
Yeah. Basically, what I was trying to figure out is whether my character, through having this book, has set up somewhere and is working on that, or if he's just kind of just not interested in it. Or just has it as a like side thing.
Yeah, I think that the best way of doing it is it's like because so the thing about that book is it could just be fairy stories.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just be sort of the opinion that you carried this because it was important to like your parents, or at least your one parent that you knew, and then you don't you don't necessarily believe it because it's just stories.
God damn it! I was rolling a d20 to see what my character would think about it. I haven't figured
Yeah,
out what
you
my
rolled
int
right in
is
the
yet,
middle.
because I haven't rolled stats.
You're right
Then
in the
maybe
middle.
that's my
That's what
int
you think
stat.
about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be real. It could be fairy stories.
Yeah. So like
Maybe
that could be a
you're
way
like
of do.
semi-curious, where you're like, maybe it's true, maybe it's worth checking or something.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah,
confident
we'll
it's
see.
real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can
So
figure that
it's
out as things go by.
or you could have lost the book, and then when you hear about somebody looking into what seems like those fairy stories that your parents told you, you're like, oh, well, I need to go find out about that because I remember those from Mum telling me these weird stories.
Mhm.
If you don't have the book,
Yeah. Who knows?
So, Yeah, there's plenty of things that can happen with it.
Yeah.
Also, if you're looking around because I think I see a bunch of people looking around, the lines on the map of Lolsimrith, these are ferries. These are the guide ropes.
Mm.
So that some of the islands can only be got to by ferry.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm just trying not to laugh at this minus Saint off the front of it.
Hmm?
He did die killing dinosaurs, is all I will confirm.
What is this now?
Doctor Who joke. Old Doctor Who joke.
But now I'll never know
Oh,
if I was right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid nerd dies in stupid nerdiest stupid way possible.
The ultimate death.
The death he deserved.
True. Yeah, and for Lord Simrith things, when we get to it as well, like I can try and do the same thing I did for High Ashnar, do a guide document. Like all of these saints, they each of the saints of the different parishes is associated with one of the gods. So which one is which? You can like if it's important to
All
your
of them.
characters.
Are they? Is it one for each god, or is there a god missing?
No, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Where's Jealous?
Hang on, I gotta remember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, have I done? Hold on 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is 10. Oh no, no. There is 9 that are associated with the gods, and there's 1 that is not, because the 10th one is associated with the druids. Saint Wolo is the druid. That's right.
No.
That's the same.
Oh, no.
Miscounted. Destroy the whole city. Start again. New place.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Which one is Jealous?
Jella is Saint Barra.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's very, very fun because when you go to this island, which has a canal through it, Saint said that is like when you go around those little farmsteads, you'll see people tilling their fields in completely normal way. They'll like put manure on them, all the regular farming things. When you go to St. Barra's Isle, what the druids who help them do their crops there do is they walk through the fields and they cut their finger and they drip blood for each of the plants as they go through.
I see.
So there's different farming techniques on display for
Mhm.
gods who have opinions about how you should farm, and yes, Jella's farming techniques involve blood. As they of course would.
Well,
Is there
maybe the crops give you more iron.
is there a farming technique where the priests drop trow and help out?
No, I can safely
Thank
say
you.
that one. No, that doesn't happen. Oh, and also, I believe I have got the scale on this map correct as well. Yeah. This henge is supposed to be this absolutely insane. It is enormous.
How
That is
big
a
is that?
big.
Oh wow! That
And
is a
basically,
big.
it is all these concentric circles of posts, like wooden posts, and then in the center there is a large enclosed dome structure at the center of all these posts. And the architecture of Lolsimrith is very organic, as you can see from the streets. Straight
Mhm.
lines are not something that they are in favor of.
Mhm.
All of the monastic complexes the buildings are all very rounded, and they generally operate around a circular central shrine area where there'll be a shrine to the god in question and also the saint associated with it. And they tend to build in circles. It is also still all built out of stone because it's supposed to be me imagining what a Celtic metropolis would look like if like it was into the modern times, the sort of thing. So it's all round things, but with streets. So if you are not from Lol Simrith, it is incredibly hard to navigate this city by design.
I've never seen a city like this.
This is like this right here. I just feel like certain Americans would faint if they saw it.
Where's the straight lines?
There's no straight lines anywhere. Well, there is. The ferries. They're straight lines. Yeah. And St. Elias.
Four-way intersections.
This is a school, like it's just a regular old library academic stuff. And then St. Hilda is a satellite campus of Caraba. So that is the magical school in Lol Simrith.
Caraba.
Caraba. Yeah, that's the magical school of the Owlans. All of the wizards of like Owlan culture that want to go to an Owlan school, that's where they go. But they do have some little extra campuses in other places, like Lol Simrith. I know where the other ones are, but they're not relevant, so I'm not telling you. Yeah. So this is where get familiar with where hopefully home will be for a while. It is one of my favorite
Neat.
cities. So
We can clearly see you've put quite a lot of work into it.
oh yeah, and this one does go to the this ferry. Nobody uses, just in case people think that they would use this one. This goes to the Queen's Isle. It is only used by the leaders of Lol Simrith. And and the ferry, the ferry drivers, I forgot. They are a mini guild in the city because there's not a lot of ferry routes, but there's enough that like there's sort of a couple dozen ferry people. They have a uniform. It's a yellow floppy hat and like a sou'wester. That's what it is.
You know, for some reason, my brain didn't register you were saying uniform. I thought you were about to say they have a union.
Yeah, they do. Well, they're a guild, but it's like a union.
Yeah.
But they wear
Hmm.
the fishermen's outfits. That's how you know that they're ferrymen. Just a little detail.
May the ferrymen come. Ugh.
Okay. Well, I'm good to wrap it up here for today, and then next week we will do the history changes. And if people have other questions and stuff, they can ask lots more then. If that's cool with everybody.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
And you're all welcome to come and like mess around on the maps and stuff. Now that we are done the
I'm gonna
previous
draw
characters,
so many dicks.
I mean, I'll just delete them, so you have nice time with that. I will hide the old maps so people don't get confused. They are still here though, so don't worry. And I've got the Theron map if you want it for some reason. If there's other maps that I have not got up here for some reason, then I will add them too. We got Haliash now. I haven't put up Strelok's map, but I have to fix Strelok. I have to change Strelok's map because it's been time and the city's changed. Ugh. I hate drawing cities. It takes so long. yeah. So thank you all very
Hmm.
much. I hope you've been having a nice
Mhm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I hope you're getting lots of ideas. And you guys all have access to all the documents anyway. So like the history document, you can read it before anything gets talked about next week with chat and stuff. So
Believe I have, but don't worry, I'm sure I'll forget lots.
yeah, that's
Oh,
fine. Hmm.
I thought I just forgot what it looks like when we mutes on the PNG.
Oh. Wow.
Oh yeah,
Whoops. Oh, yeah, I did that a while ago. I wasn't saying anything anyway, but I completely forgot.
It just threw me off when I saw it. It's all.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was practicing my voice.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I haven't got anywhere yet. I was trying to see what I'd do.
Well, I'm going to
Might
send
just be
these
a
lovely
sentence.
people off on their way, and I will return in a moment, but I'll go do an ending. So thank you all so much, and I hope you have a good
Hog.
Toodaloo, everybody.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you all so much, everyone, for hanging out. Shark Dog, thank you so much for the subbies, if you're still here. If you have any questions about anything to do with the law, I believe on Discord. Yes, I have made a thing on Discord for, it's at the bottom, Kismeros campaign law, campaign discussion. I will move it up, I guess, because for some reason it's down there. So yeah, it's now at the bottom. There's a discussion thing that I post all the lore. There's maps, and then yeah, there's some other stuff there too. But you're welcome to look at that and ask anything you want of me. I am happy to talk world building with people whenever you want, basically. If I can answer the question, I will, because as people probably can tell, I am very invested in the world that I make, so I am more than happy to talk about it. But for now, here is the Discord if you want it. I will post this VOD. It should be up by tomorrow, hopefully. And I gotta go refresh this. And need to find somebody to do a raid to. Hopefully. Oh no, wait, hang on. I will try to be live tomorrow, but I make no promises whatsoever. Because I might have to go and do something. Let us go and raid. I'm gonna raid Tileron. I haven't raided Tileron in a bit. Here's some messages. Thank you, Poke. Yeah. I am way too. I have currency systems. I've even thought about making languages and stuff. So yeah, I'm at that stage of this. But I don't use a lot of that stuff because it makes it hard for people to do the world, if that makes sense. Because learning new money and learning like a language and stuff is all tough. I do the languages thing where I've taken away racial languages because it's just patently stupid that Blizzard's Wizard still does that. Like nobody has ever been born with a language. Sorry, that's not how it works. So it's just stupid. Hopefully they will change that in the future. And cultural languages will become more of a thing. But that's the reason I have the cultural things. But hopefully the cultural thing is now clearer as well. Because, yes, I realize that it's confusing when you have to learn these different cultures. And the fact that these culture groups have cultures within them. But tis what it is. Have yourselves all a very, very lovely rest of your day. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. But if not, then it'll be on Thursday for Hobby Night. You know how Monday is. Monday always gets messed up. So bye bye for now. Bye 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 bye.